You will sit down and smile and talk to the boss in that specific role, while understanding that he should reflect you and you should not reflect him. Right? Please, Arjun, understand. इसमें तू एक छोटा सा एरो चलाओ ना. जय शिवा माँ खेपा, जय शिशा माँ खेपा, जय खेपा परंपरा. जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माता माँ काली, जय माँ. So the topic that we have chosen, that I chose, is a bit controversial because we have not yet recovered from the aftermath of Kali's Krishna. We're still being attacked for it. People say that this madman goes all over the country speaking about the mother and says that she is the greatest of all times, she is everything, she is the ultimate form. Then what about the other forms? Are they not relevant? Does he mean to say that people who worship the other forms, they are lesser? Or is this that only Ma Kali can give you moksha? So the divine chooses to express itself through various forms. Ultimately it leads to the ultimate state of the Parabrahman only. Some of them choose Sri Krishna, some choose Sri Rama, some choose other forms of Devi. But the only thing is that the single form that you choose should remain till the very last breath. You should not get diverted. Just like can any of you shift from your body to the next person? You cannot, right? So when you choose a form, you hold on to that form for the end, with the very last breath. That itself is the blessing of the deity. And in that specific deity, through that form alone, you visualize every single form there is. Because the deity will ensure that you're able to connect to everything. If you go through the Ma Kali Sahasranamavali, Adya Kali Sahasranamavali, you will find that she is everything. So if I tell you one day you should worship this form, the next day you should worship the other form, I'm doing you a great disservice by sending you on to these trips to various kshetras, to various forms, and it will take many lifetimes for you to truly visualize. But when you begin to sit down and focus on one specific form, and in that form you realize that it is her or that specific form that you worship that is giving you the jnana of every other form there is, you're actually reducing those lifetimes so that you do not have to take another birth for the other form. One birth spent in the worship of Sri Rama, one birth spent in the worship of Sri Narasimha, one birth spent in the worship of Rudra, one birth in the worship of Kailashanatha. No, one single birth. So that is the whole purpose of Tantra. So that you do not again break your own tiny Atma, which is half the size of unbroken rice. You do not force that Atma to take hundreds of different forms, thereby extending your own confusion, chaos within, and forcing your Atma to sit in a specific form every time you decide that next 10 days I will worship this form. So that Atma has immediately taken that entire jnana of that form alone. The next 25 days, somebody said on YouTube that 25th to 28th is the time when you can worship Sri Rama. Then you immediately get into the worship of Sri Rama, thereby confusing and pushing that tiny Atma, which is somewhere in the corner of your body, most of the time forgotten. Right? It is the A100 chip, but it is most of the time forgotten, forcing it to go through all these loops. That is why I give you one single simple path. And mother has been kind. What does a mother do? Acha, ye aise bolta hai. Let me do one thing. I'll put some script into his head also, which will make sense. So that people do understand that you truly do not have to jump through so many loops to understand that which is sitting deeply inside you only. You don't have to go to hundreds of paths to understand that which is very deeply seated within you. So that is why it was a great intro that Aryan gave. Where is he? He left, is it? He gave the intro and left. Right. So he gave an intro on what is Shiva. Why now we walk around saying that Kali is Shiva? The madman has just finished Kali is Krishna. Now he said Kali is Shiva, he will not let anybody go. If you want to go back to the scriptures, then yes, every scripture will lead you to the ultimate truth. However, in the 5th Yuga, which is after the golden age of Kali Yuga, when you have come to the last portion, the 5th Yuga, yes, people say it is 4, scriptures say it is 4, but no, there is a clear demarcation given by Sri Krishna that after the golden Yuga, golden part of Kali Yuga, it is a completely different state of being. time itself works in a different way because we are heading towards the climax. So there is no time for us to go through the thousands and crores of forms of the deities, but focus in one, ekagrit karke ek hi path mein chalna hai, so that you do not have to spend a lot of lifetimes running after different forms, but you will realize that one single form, within that form is seated the entire Kala Chakra itself. That is the whole point of Kali. So that is why every time somebody texts me and asks me about, can you teach me about Shiv Sadhana? And I, who keeps talking about Kali 24/7 on every channel, on every space they call me, on every reel, on every post, I would start writing about Sri Rama and ultimately come to 211th name of Kali is Ma Sita. So that is how it goes. So ultimately it makes sense that why is this rambling madman connecting everything to one specific form? And we'll try and understand as much as we can about it. I was truly surprised to note that Ma Chinnamasta is worshipped in every street corner in Gujarat. Jogani Ma. I was absolutely surprised. In fact, I saw an old man on a cycle. I was just traveling to dinner with some of the sadhaks, volunteers yesterday. And saw this old man suddenly stopped his cycle and with deep devotion he was praying to a small temple this side. So I was waiting for the car to cross it to see who is it. With so much devotion, who is he worshipping? And I saw Ma Chinnamasta there. I don't think any part of the country would have Ma Chinnamasta temples randomly on the street corners. And it very truly denotes the kind of leaders and the kind of people that are in the state. You look at them, they've always beaten the Kala Chakra, never been stuck with their birth purpose alone. You take the longest serving Prime Minister, father of the nation. These men refuse to say that my life is this, I can go till here, this is my heights, kar dunga kuch. State politics mein number one. Father of the city, nahin, father of the nation chahiye. Longest serving Prime Minister from a simple title called Chaiwala all the way till that. So this is the energy of Ma Chinnamasta. She decapitates your head and gives you a whole new head. Why are you worried about this head alone? Why do you say that this head can take you all the way till here? I'll give you 2 more heads. No. Wo bhi kar lo. Entire pretas, bhutas, the entire bhut means what? The past of the entire Kala Chakra. Everybody's past. You take one of it and go. Kitna kha sakte ho? How much karma can you eat? How much sanchita karma can you eat? The more you eat, the more I'll open the Kala Chakra for you. And this is why these great men are all here. It seemed to make more and more sense because the energy of the city is absolutely brilliant. I love Bangalore. I enjoy it a lot, but I found that this city is very slow. It is very calm. But it has great men. It made no sense. Does it make sense? How is a city that is calm, not moving, but it is having all the great men? Why? Why do you think that is? Yes, I know. Achha. I realized that yesterday. I didn't know that. I realized that yesterday, and I believe there is something truly spectacular about this city. People do blame me that I go to every city and say this. But no, there are cities that give me a serious headache. They make me not want to get out of the hotel room in the morning. Vibes will be completely off. It will be completely towards the material. But this space is not like that. Here, men don't seem to really care about material. Once they have broken beyond that financial constraints, they no longer seem to care about that material part and they just want to eat time. And you know who eats time? So welcome to the topic, Kali, Shiva. Now that I have sufficiently confused you, which they say that is my style, I'll begin the satsang. So I do keep this phone around because I'm not a great orator. I'm stuck in the Garbhagriha. Maybe 10-15 times in a year I walk out, visit people in satsangs under her Adesh, and then I run back. I tend to ramble like this. None of this was in the script. Kali, Shiva. How many of you have passed 12th standard? All did, right? My wife didn't lift her hand. I have to check the records. And if many of you must be having successful businesses, careers, must have crossed your 30s, 40s also sometimes. But if I ask you to go back today Today you have to decide, tomorrow morning is your 12th standard board exam. How many of you will pass? I was worried if somebody would raise their hand, because that will be difficult for me to counter, right? Because I cannot present the exam tomorrow morning. Thanks for accepting that. Definitely you would not clear, because there is no way you would remember those poems. Hindi, everybody knows to talk, but do you remember the poems? Do you remember whose father was who went to shop? All of this you remember? No, right? There is no way you would pass. But do you also remember there was a state when you absolutely and truly believed that 12th standard exam is the end of the world, and when you clear it, from the next day you're free. You've done it. The entire Devaloka is open and I am Indra. We believed that, right? We truly believed that. And then came the college. Then came the fact that we had to find a job. We were called a burden. We were thrown out. Then let's not go to the next one, the marriage part. Right? We'll be in 12th standard for some time. In 12th standard, we truly believe that is the end of life itself. If this exam alone I clear, no, and I get a good mark, I am done. After that, heaven. Right? You truly believe that. But now, even if I offer you, say, a promotion in your present space or a good order in your business, how many of you are ready to go back to 12th standard and write that exam? Don't lift it just to. How many of you will be ready? One promotion mil jayega. One person is ready. Anybody else? That's a small number. Right? Why? What happened that made you believe that which was the greatest test, greatest exam of your life, the greatest event of your life at that point is now not even worth attempting again? How did it lose significance to that extent? Kya hua? Ma chinna masta keman chak. That is the truth. But what happened? What is the difference between you today and that 16, 17-year-old boy or girl whose life revolved around that exam? Raat ko neend nahi aaya, because when you're sleeping, only that portion that you skipped alone is going to come for the exam tomorrow. Right? What changed? You are still the same, right? You still have the same name, still have the same record, same parents, same house to abhi bhi hoga with many of you. Some of your houses got snatched, right? But some of you still are there. The parents are also left, but you are still here, but you will never give that importance to that event again, in spite of it being the most core central event of your life. That is the Kala Chakra. As Mahakal describes Mahakali, she is the Kala Chakra itself. So at that state, it was the world, it was the cosmos itself for you, and today it is nothing. You simply outgrew it. You will say, no, I'm 35 today, why will I write that exam? Why will I care about that exam anymore? So what is that quantification? Time. It is a movement of time. This movement, at its most limited description that I've given you, is the state of time, or Kala, or Mahakal. You can never go back to that exam again, no matter how much I convince you. Right? Tomorrow morning, none of you will show up at the exam, I assure you. Right? We had a limited registration for the satsang, 200 registered, 160, 170 have come. Then they're definitely not going to show up at the board exam. They will not remember to carry that hall ticket. They will not even print it out. That hall ticket which you kept so carefully just to clear this exam, you are so scared you should not even fold it. You are afraid whether you will be allowed to enter the exam. Itna dar tha. Kala Chakra. So once you have truly crossed a state, you can never make sense of that which was. This is that moment of Shiva. What is Shiva? Shiva is absolute pure consciousness. It has no features, it has no character by itself. It is simply absolute awareness without any framework. So what I described to you has a framework. I said that you're 16, board exam, higher ja rahe ho. Now you're 35, you're a project manager or a businessman. Now from here you have to look back at the 16. It makes no sense. There is still framework. Designs of Brahma. But for Shiva, this difference that we spoke about, this 15 years, no? put few more zeros there. There is no framework. There is no beginning. There is no end. Adi Ananta. There is no father. There is no mother. Where does he even begin from? How do you quantify something that doesn't seem to have even a form? What does Shiv Puran say? That do not even describe and worship him in a form. Worship him in a Shivling. Simply a pillar with a rounded top. You do not even know how far it can rise. Because in this specific example of the 16-year-old boy and the 35-year-old man, we have quantified 15 years of progress. But for Shiva, you do not even know. It is layers and layers of awareness. So many layers that we are all kids here. Devaloka is kids here. So Shiv Puran takes it even deeper. One day of Mahavishnu's life is the entire lifetime of Brahma. My 16-year-old and 35-year-old example is crumbling now. One day of this deity, this extraordinary deity called Mahavishnu, is the entire lifespan of Brahma. Itna. We have seen KGF and Bahubali. Elevation to hota hai. Itna hota hai kya? That you can take it right from one day to entire life of Brahma. The next one day in the lifespan of Mahavishnu is a day in the life of Mahadeva, Mahakal. Now how do you quantify this? Shiv Puran says this. And then comes the most dangerous line that now people refuse to accept. They will attack me for this now. The entire lifespan of this Mahakal comes to end at the foot of Mahakali. He came. Full army. On one long comment, usually his comment would be nice pig, nice dog. That's it. This time he came with the army. 5 lines, full lines, 5 full lines he has written. That is because Mahakal is kind. Shiva is kind towards Maha Parvati. It is out of his love and kindness only that he accepts to allow her. So where has it pricked? Somewhere so deeply rooted in the teachings where we say that Mahavishnu one day is lifetime of Brahma. Mahakal, one day of Mahakal is a lifetime of Mahavishnu. Even this we are not found acceptance. And how do you break the most radical thought that this deity comes and ends his own absolute life at the foot of Mahakali and she consumes Mahakal? How do you teach this? I don't have to worry a lot about this because the script already maane de diya. I just need to be having the guts to speak out in public, trusting that none of you are carrying stones. And if it is a stone, it becomes a flower before it lands on my head. That is all I need to trust. Right? So, we speak about 649th name of, bol do, naam to bolo, Ma Kali. That is our regular script. यही तो करते हैं. अरे he uses the Sahasranamavali to escape all the time. हाँ माँ नहीं दिया, महाकाल नहीं दिया है, मैं क्या करूँ? You cannot remove it. He uses Sahasranamavali to teach everything. हाँ, she is the one who revealed it. So 649th name of Ma Kali. What is it? Something finally that you have not seen. Shiva Duti, the one who carries the message of the state of consciousness that is Shiva, which we have so deeply, in religion we have so deeply rooted and said that Shiva means the male god. His wife is Maha Parvati. So Shiva Duti today presents an extraordinary script to us. How many of you have heard the story of Bringi Rishi? You? Nobody else has heard? 5, 6 people have heard. So you guys can have refreshments because I'm going to bore you a little with that story again. Extraordinary sage, absolutely. Mahadev is in love with him, he is in love with Mahadev, but he says Mahadev is the male part of the Shiva state. And the wife, Maha Parvati, is separate. Who says this? Bringi Rishi. And he's so rooted in this belief that he will, whenever he would go all the way till Kailashan, which is every single morning. So his sadhana when he sits in his asan, so don't think that you have to go to, again, you don't have to go to Kailash. He's sitting in his asan, in his ashram, and the sadhana is so deeply rooted in Shiva Tattva that he's able to reach Kailash every day by Manas. Right? But what he would do, he'd reach there and he'll take parikrama of Mahadeva alone and he'll come back. Mahaparvati used to watch this. Right? So that I could teach today. She has ensured that this incident has recorded and kept alive till 2026. Usko bhi teach karna hai. Dal do Shiva Duti. Every day he would go, one parikrama, wouldn't even look at Ma. And he would come down. Ma to, you know how she is. If you don't love me, I'll make you love me. And once you love me, you can only love me. You will have to say Krishna is also Kali. You will have to say Shiva is also Kali. And Sri Ram also is there in Namavali. I don't touch there, because I let them at least not be disturbed. Right? So what does she do? She next day morning, acha, isko pakadti hu. Bolke she sits on his lap and says, how will you take a parikrama if I am on his lap? Ringi Rishi is very brainy. Aise. And he leaves. Acha. Aise kar diya. Now she is excited. She is waiting for the next day. One extraordinary form. Half and half. What is it called? This fellow has revealed the script only. I was very sad. Introduction mein script bol diya usne. I was wondering, did it get leaked? I sat and rat on the flight and all. So Ardhanarishwara, just for him who refused to learn, isn't she kind? A form just for the one who refused to learn. ऐसा कौन करता है? School में अगर if you say that I don't want to learn, she'll just slap you. Teacher will say slap you and give one letter from the headmaster and enjoy you getting screwed nicely. Right? But what does this teacher do? Shivaduti. She's teaching one extraordinary form. Then powerful Rishi. Bringi Rishi is very powerful. Right? He is now fighting. It is a debate with Devi. What does he do? He takes an extraordinary form of a bee. Brahmari, which is the 449th name of Kali. Without realizing this, हम genius हैं, form ले लेंगे, कौन सा form लिया है? Kali. ये तो realization नहीं था उनको. And he bores a hole through the gap of Mahadeva and Mahalakshmi, right? Parvati, right? And takes a parikrama of Shiva alone. Shiva in the sense for him, the male part alone. Then comes the curse. Ma gets angered. I put it on record now. This is on record that these incidents have happened. This is the story. Lekin tujhe punish bhi karna hai. Bolke she makes him absolutely emaciated, just flesh, bones, and he gets the realization. And then our Bholenath, अरे इतना बड़ा lesson दे रहे हो, and for that my bhakta is being absolutely destroyed over here. Let me give him another foot so that he can stand. And that is a separate story. Bringi Rishi becomes so weak, he cannot even stand. So Mahadeva gives him a third leg. That is a separate story. But यहाँ पे we stop here. What is our learning here? 449th name of Kali, which is Brahmari, which is the bee, which is what Bringi took the form of. And what is the bee teaching us? The bee is teaching us nothing but Kali is the Shiva Duti, that form which teaches you the message of the state of Shiva. And Shiva is not one male form but a specific state of pure consciousness which opens layer after layer, just like you have realized today within a framework that you will not do well in 12th standard today. You are more worried about the bigger house. But realize, as time passes, that which you have decided is the biggest problem of your life today, if somebody after 15 years asks, you will not even give a damn about it. That is still within a framework. It is still not the pure consciousness of Shiva. Because when you attain the state of Shiva, this same example can be used across the cosmos. A day of Mahakal is the lifetime of Mahavishnu. Comments aayega. Because other Puranas say something else, bolke they will fight. But you have to be rooted to understanding that Shiva is not one specific deity, but a state of pure consciousness. And his, to understand the male part, And his extension, the feminine part, is what creates. It is para prakriti. That which creates the trees, the lifespans, the bloodlines, your board exam hall ticket, the Maya that came today. It's very important. Ye ek ho gaya, life is finished. You just have to apply, duplicate it, apply karoge to aa jayega. That's it. But you truly believe that that was the most important thing of your life. That is the Maya of para prakriti. And Kali is the feminine part of Shiva, and Shiva is the perfect union of Purusha and Para Prakriti. Shiva is not one male god. So when you worship Kali, people text me, I want to do Shiv sadhana. I think, I kaise teach karu? That, don't become a bee. Don't quest after the third leg. बहुत painful है. अभी सीख लो ऋषि. Bringi, in his ignorance that we think, he was under the Maya of none other than Ma Kali. And today he gives us a lesson from so many lakhs of years across, that Shiva Duti, the one who takes you to the state of being Shiva, is Kali. The one who gives you the lesson of what it is to be in the state of Shiva, where there is no eyes, there is no ears. It is not allowed that you represent Shiva in the Shiva Puran, as per the Shastras, that you represent with eyes, nose, ears, because there is nothing that he has to hear. There is nothing that he has to see, to perceive, because he is already aware of the source of that sound. He is already aware of the source of the eyesight, whatever the sight is, eye is about to see. He is already aware of the source, then what is he supposed to perceive? It is just the cosmic damaru, tuck, 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 keeps on moving. That state, that is Shiva. And what is Kali then? Are you convinced? Cinema banana padega. I think people should make an extraordinary movie on this subject. Don't you think it is worth making a movie on?
Bigger than Durandar.
Bigger than? Durandar. I would like to act in that. Because I think I am behaving like that only in spiritual world. Andar ghuske Ma Kali. Everything he says is Ma Kali. Today morning only I got a hate comment. Bahut bada tha. They sent saying that he says everything is Ma Kali. So is there no realization in the other paths? The fact that you are trying so hard to argue this point means that something that I spoke made sense to you. That is why you want me to say that there is realization in the other path. So that something, kahin pe hoga Sahasranama mein, that something. That something is also me. Bolke hogi wo. She is like that because unka koi rule hi nahi hai. She is the one who manifests within every yuga. She is the Kala Chakra itself. What rule are you going to place this deity in? Right? So there was once a video that I made on Mahakal. Specifically on Mahakal, the state of Mahakal, what it means to stay in this pocket that is described as Mahakal, to do his sadhana. It simply said that Mahakali's sadhana gives you the state of Mahakal. Mahakal Bhairav is the Rishi of Kali. If you are truly rooted in the sadhana of Kali, which means that you should have the guts to wear your karma and not to hide and run away from it. You should have the ability to look around. You should have the ability to die while living. To die so extraordinarily and rise from it and understand that your worst enemy was just a teaching and now you need to teach him physically. How many of you can teach your worst enemy right now? Acha bato. I will teach. How many of you can do it? 3 hands, 4 hands, 5 hands. Now don't keep lifting one by one. Right? So that state has to be attained. That is the state of God itself. And what is Bhairav sadhana? Ma creating one specific deity only for the purpose of giving the fastest route, fastest path of realization. The Tantra Mar, the Guru of Tantra itself. Today morning there was a comment again saying that this is not Tantra. What about the rituals to be offered? Tantra, a technique. What is Tan? Self. Technique of the self. That is Tantra. It has been so saddening that today we reduce Tantra itself to mere rituals. Tantra is that self, the art of absolutely controlling, understanding and attaining the state of God in yourself. It is nothing external. Tantrics have always been extremely arrogant. They say that, okay, there is a great kshetra, my tapasya will be so extraordinary. So he is worshipping the Tan. When we say that Vringi Rishi did tapasya for 10,000 years, Vashishta Muni did tapasya for 10,000 years in order to have a vision of Ma Tara, what does it mean? Did he go anywhere? It is in your asan. Tantrics must understand that your sadhana should be so deep, your tapasya needs to be so deep that you are now competing with the most powerful temples for the vision of the deity itself. So is that sounding too arrogant? It must not. That has always been the technique of Tantra. It is not to simply open up one court case that you have, one promotion to break it down, one property which your brother is seeking, you want to fight it and take it from their hands. वो सब बहुत छोटा है. It is nothing. When the Kala Chakra twists itself, you will realize that there is no brother, there is no property, there is nothing. We are all absolute nothingness. In the state of Shiva, there is nothing that you can pinpoint, you cannot place a marker in any space, because agar entire Mahavishnu, his entire life becomes a single day of Mahakal, and that energy is lying, as we say, as a shava at her foot, and she has consumed time, then what specific problem in life are you trying to address? Right? What you must do is consume that problem, eat it, stay in the pocket of that problem, let it hit you and simply dissipate. Do not try to look for a solution for it. You are burst into a specific bloodline so that you can give it release. If Kali, how many of you think Kali is a Ishta? I'm very worried. In this hall, there is only 50% who consider her as the Ishta. Others, if you can just call out what is your form, which form do you worship? Acha, wo to son of Ma Kali only, no, you cannot say that she's not the Ishta. He will himself lead you there only. Who else? What else is the Ishta? Ishta Deva. Silence. If I say something, this fellow will counter it. And he will somehow try to bring it to Kali. You're already there. You just not realized it. Right? The whole purpose, if it is Bhairava, it is the same path. Right? One of the names Ma has played around, Kala Bhairava Swarupini. Vatuka becomes Kala Bhairava after going through all the 64 million forms. He ultimately sits down as Kala Bhairava in Kashi. So there she comes as Kala Bhairava Swarupini, and 208th name of Kali is Kashi. Right? So, who is a Ishta? Conversion nahi kar raha hu, don't worry. That is illegal. We don't convert. I also used to be male form, worship of male form. Then I realized that the male form, once that male form sits inside you, you are then worshipping her. That male form wants to worship her through you. And when you begin to worship her, that male form that we all are fascinated and running after, we all, like my friend on Facebook, 10-year-old friend I lost. Because I said Ma steps on Mahadev's chest and he got angry. It is out of kindness. He is very powerful. In a second he could have thrown her away. No. It is him standing as her. Shiva has no form, the state of consciousness. It is we who are limited, saying that board exam and promotion I have to compare and tell you to show you the Kala Chakra 15 years. It is we who are rootedly saying that Mahadeva has a male form and Kali is a half because he is kind. No. Tantra is a dialogue between Mahadeva and Devi, is what is the general understanding of Tantrics who are rooted in ritualistic path. However, the actual answer is, it is Shiva talking to Shiva. It is Shiva's feminine side very innocently asking Shiva's masculine side on the techniques of sadhana, and it is Shiva talking to himself. There is actually nobody else. It is we who think that Ma Parvati is asking a question and Mahadeva is answering. In reality, this is all happening within him. His feminine side is the only part that can wake the masculine side, because his masculine side is like a formless rock. It cannot be touched. When you say I, what is I? I wear this white kurta. I have assumed the role of a realized person. So-called highest state of sadhana. I have a very realized, powerful guru. I have identified this way. Now if I try to knock the door of Mahadev, what will happen to me? He who has no timeline itself, what will happen? What will happen if I go and knock the door of Mahadev in this form? Can I even approach him? Because he is formless, timeless. Adi Ananta, you cannot even approach him. Then who can approach him? I have just given the script. Either you all have already fallen asleep. I'll have to arrange a dance show over here. My volunteers are brilliant dancers. Who can awaken the masculine side of Shiva? Ma. And who is she? She is the feminine side of Shiva. So how do you enter the state of Shiva? Through, there is only one door. The one door which has made the stage, which has made this cushion, all of that, the Prakriti part. So the Prakriti part, the closer you go, it gives you a tunnel directly to the masculine part, which is unmoving, which cannot even be touched by Kamadeva itself. Kamadeva goes, sorry, I will ensure it, don't worry. She does. Shiva Duti, she's all the time giving you messages. Ma Parvati is saying that, oh, I am unable to take the attention of Mahadev itself. He's so deeply rooted in sadhana. Whatever I do, I cannot even take his attention. She ensures that Kamadeva goes there and gets burnt. So that you can all understand, at the very end, what does Shiva say? At the very end of your physical pursuit, to you Kamadeva, I give you a message. What is that? That for you too, there is a higher state of realization that Kama, at the end of your highest spiritual, material pursuit is purely spiritual. Kamadeva got a lesson there. People think that it is just a story. You know, nobody can approach the masculine part of Shiva successfully because it is the root is through the feminine side. So Bringi Rishi in his all extraordinary powers of sadhana and all of that, he was never truly taking the parikrama of Shiva itself. He could not get in, but who was always seeing him? Mahaparvati was seeing him all the time. Him walking around, him taking the parikrama, him coming, like a mother, she was watching him. Ye aa raha hai, ye kar raha hai. This is his minus points, these are his negatives, these are the things that he needs learning in. Who is able to see Bringi Rishi? Mahaparvati, 206th name. And who was not at all correcting him? Because that specific space that we identify as Shiva, it has no framework. It cannot be quantified. It is too deep. It is the Prakriti side, the feminine part of that same energy that comes and touches you. Whatever you feel when you worship Shiva, when you worship Shiva in a temple, Shiva in the sense, now I speak about Bringi Rishi's mindset, you have to immediately come. Shiva means masculine, but that part when you worship him in a temple, who do you think is giving you that goosebumps? When Bringi Rishi was making such a big mistake, he didn't correct him. So do you think when you go to a Shivalaya and worship Shiva, you feel that sense of, acha, this was a brilliant darshan. Who gave you that feeling? Now with Bringi Rishi as an example, you tell me. So do we accept her name, Guru Shrestha? There is no bigger guru than the mother. Right? I'll have some water. So, it's been 45 minutes. Ho gaya na? I've been running out of scripts. How much can you talk? Every Thursday, if I have to put one video, I tell the mother, kya karu main? You go back to your own videos, there is so much of incomplete stuff you have spoken. Usi video ko correct karo. So if you look very seriously into my video, you'll realize that it is me correcting what my Kala Chakra. 1 year back, 2 year back, 3 year back, jo maine incomplete diya, Ma is correcting me. Nahi to third leg aa jayega. Right? So I had left a story that I was trying to tell you guys about Mahakal. I made a video on Mahakal and someone visited my guru and they told, he is doing Mahakal sadhana now. He doesn't do Mahakali sadhana anymore. And he got shocked. Man, Smashan Kali ka mantra diya and he's doing Mahakal sadhana. How is it possible? I didn't want to disrespect the person because that was a important, respected person. So I didn't want to disturb them. But I heard my guru say this in the phone. Kya? Mahakal sadhana kar raha hai. But maa to unko daba ke rakhti hai. You understand? I know, I can see some of the faces are getting angry. Let me tell you, this anger is not towards me. It is towards a higher state of realization. This is the exact words my guru said, but she presses him down. How is he able to see Mahakal when he's running after this specific form? He should not even be able to see there. His eyes should only be there. And out of respects, I also didn't correct. I said, Gurudev, bahut pasand hai Mahakal, I said. But in reality, I had just spoken about Mahakal. I was not specifically in the sadhana of Mahakal at that point. So I was talking about Mahakal. Specifically, though, I was also still looking at Ma only. So this example, it is again giving you the insight from somebody who has spent over 3 to 4 decades in the Smashan, who is called Smashan Bhairav, Dharapit. In Rajpur's Mahasmashan, he is my guru, Shama Khepa. He said that how can he talk about Mahakal? How is it even possible that he is able to say Mahakal when he is worshipping Mahakali? Because Mahakal himself sits in your asana and worships Kali. So the truly mad Kali sadhaks, you will find that the first person to protect you, person, energy, deity, aura that protects you is Mahakal himself. Because these are very rare people, right? Who have the guts to say that, chat faad do, andar aa jao. Because Mahakali doesn't know any other way to come in. If Mahakal has to lie down as a shava, then how can you just say that, from under the door you come slowly so that my life is not disturbed. Slowly you slip into that photograph. Okay? Slow. Like we are carrying some big almirah into the house. Yes, slowly. Tiles pe scratch mat karna. Ma can't do that. If you want her fully, you cannot say that I love my mother, birth mother, but I hate her on these days. Your mother only won't accept you, right? Acha, you want the chapatis I make, you want the income that I bring to the house, but the 5 days when I scream, you'll reject me, and after that you'll hold on to that grudge alone. So you're rejecting your own birth mother, the birth womb. Now the topic comes to Smashan Kali. Can you reject any part of her when Mahakal Bhairav itself is lying flat? What is the message? The masculine part of Shiva, the Shiva state, masculine part is completely surrendered. It becomes zero or Shava. And who rises? The divine feminine rises at its most uncompromising, unimaginably undigestible form. That is Kali. तो हाँ छत तो फाड़ेगी, but she'll also give you a nicer roof, in my experience, right? So trust karo, right? I'll tell you something incidentally. Shri Krishna and his chariot, where Shri Krishna tells Hanumanji that you just need to be on the flag alone. You don't have to get down and fight. Because even in the Kurukshetra, no matter how powerful the sadhakas were, Guru Drona was there, Bhishma Pitama was there, all of them were there, but none of them could truly attain the siddhi of Hanumanji. He was that powerful. Imagine. So deities, even they are afraid of certain deities. So today even my guru says that if you worship Ma Kali, house will get destroyed. But what he means is, ghar toot jayega, you will become nothing nahi. Your 16, 17-year-old boy and the board exam ka hall ticket will tear. She will take you to something that is not even the 35-year-old man that I spoke about. She might take you to 4026 and you will not even know where you are. But now I'll tell you what is the biggest problem I face with sadhakas. I have risen so fast. I don't like my mother and father anymore. I find them too limited. I don't like it. I find my husband too slow. My wife is too slow. They talk about material things. This is where the teaching of Krishna comes in. The entire Devaloka, entire Kala Chakra, walking around as Krishna, 36 name of Ma Kali. Anybody angry? Alright. Little bit of realization is there. Understanding is there. That it is the Kala Chakra walking around in Kurukshetra. Right? He faces Duryodhana. He also cries out in irritation that if he was there, he would have stopped Yudhishthira from playing the dice. But even he was not there, so he accepts the weakness of Yudhishthira and tries to figure the way out. So as you go higher, if you do not attain Matra Bhav towards the people around you, your sadhana too stops. You will again get stuck as the 16-year-old or 35-year-old. To attain the highest states of sadhana, you have to be able to forgive and teach your worst enemy too. This is the test. If you can truly, you raised your hand. I will not forget you. Now I will check with you. Because it is not normal. If you can sit down and teach your enemy the ways of life, you are not normal. That is an extraordinary state of being. Learning. Learn. Right? So if you are at that state, you are truly blessed. And I want all of you to go to that state. Right? Bhairava gives you that accelerated path because Ma says, Arey, ye kya ho raha hai? Brahma says that with his fifth head he has attained the state of Shiva. But that is not the state of Shiva. You come and teach, no? So who comes? Okay. Owner. The very owner. Have I given this example somewhere on some podcast or something where engineering, if somebody is running a business school, teacher versus owner. कहाँ पे दिया मैंने? Bangalore Satsang. On what? Have I given this example? दे दिया क्या? Now I have to find some new example. Recent one only, but I have to keep finding scripts, right? So what is the purpose of Bhairava? Why do you need Bhairava in the Kali path? Why no matter how much you worship Ma Kali, there will be a state where you will get stuck at 35 years. If you clear 16 years and clear the board exam, you will get stuck at 35. Thinking that that is the highest state of realization. Bhairava is cleaning and accelerating of the masculine part of every being, not men alone. Of every being, even if you are a woman with no masculine presence in your life, he will still clean your masculinity for you. So that it can attain higher states because Ma cannot stand in that space which is a weak adhara. That is the purpose of Bhairava. I have text messages that come in, youngsters, 20, 21-year-old. I am mad about Ma Kali. I say, kaka, but I don't like Bhairava. You're stuck. You got stuck already. You're stuck now. Right? Very soon you will realize that you want to kill your boss. You want to destroy your in-laws. You will not be able to clean and come to a state where you will be able to sit face to face with your worst people of your life who have hurt you so much. You can never forgive. You cannot sit down and say, Acha, aajao, I'll teach you what happened that night. I'll teach you what happened that day. Come down. And they will say, who are you to teach me? That insult also you will be able to take. Insult ही नहीं होगा. जिसका फॉर्म ही नहीं है, जो खुद आदि अनंत है, उसका इंसल्ट कैसे करोगे? Right? To attain that state is why you need Bhairava sadhana. Right? You were in Canada, right? How did you come back? For this you came. You didn't come for this. Just to please me, you could not have said yes. For this long back you came, before you announced dates. So, anybody found that time wasted? ये नहीं आंसर करना है. He gets discouraged very easily. So what is it? What do you define as the Bhairava mindset? Why does one need to build a Bhairava mindset to go closer to Ma Kali? Why do you need it? Anybody can call out the answer. Why do you need it? Because truly, I'll come to you. Oh, don't worry. Because truly, the state of consciousness that you should attain to hold an energy which says that, going back to the Shiva Puran, Brahma's life, Mahavishnu's life, Mahadeva's life, and the death of that specific being, and then the rise from there. Do you think that you can normally attain that state of consciousness in this Kali Yuga? It is impossible. Right? To attain that state, Bhairava. That is why you need Bhairava sadhana. You can give your answer.
Yeah, so based on what you said, maybe years ago, you said that Bhairava is the only one who can pick you up from anywhere and put you in a path. Whatever he said, I had a couple of points in, but I want to point out.
Yes. So why does he do that?
Because he's the Avtara, he's the accelerator,
He has only one purpose: to go to Kashi. Sit down in Kashi, become Kashi, give you Kashi. Bhairava as a deity has no other job. What is your Kala Chakra? यहाँ पे हो, इतना कुछ करना है, पकड़ो इसको लाओ. Hey, your burning might be 10x than somebody else because you have few more lifetimes. But somebody who's already have at their last few lifetimes and you have 10, 15 more lifetimes of realization where your family has not even seen basic comfort, then you have to chase that. Your grandsons, great-grandsons will only look at building bungalows. Even you, he will pluck and give all of that to you in one life so that you can come out of it and attain realization that your 12th standard hall ticket is not the end of the world. That is the acceleration Bhairava gives you, so that this 10, 15, 20 lifetimes are crumbled in one specific calendar year. That will be painful too. Why is it going to be painless? By that definition, Mahadeva too could have ensured that Ma Sati's body on his shoulders, burnt, charred, smelling of burnt flesh. It need not have been so painful for him, but he had to carry that body. He had to dance with it. There is a greater purpose. But you cannot teach the 16-year-old boy that the hall ticket isko far do. What will happen? But let me tell you, many times your hall ticket will be torn. Because he gives you brutal realignment. He gives you the taste of nectar and then brutally realigns. What is the Tandav? Tandav kya hai? Like, it's a brilliant song on YouTube that I listen to when I want to get pumped during gym. What is it? What is Tandav? Okay, what else? Rapid realignment with the highest state of consciousness. He is asking you to get up. Get up and get realigned. Tandav is not him being angry. It is him just moving. And when Shiva moves, who's moving? She has a name called Puman, the one who projects herself in a masculine form. Oh, very dangerous comments. Kuch bhi kar lo, he gets through somehow, yeah. That's Sahasranamavali. Usme ghus jata hai, he takes evidence after evidence. How do you discredit Sahasranamavali, which is given by Mahakal Bhairav itself? So please understand, whatever I say, proof hai, maine nahi diya. One lying there, no? With a smile on his face. Unhone diya hai, and it's all there. Puman, the one who projects herself as a man. Right? So, what is the Tandav? It is rapid realignment and it is destruction too. Like my guru said, if you worship Kali just like that in the house will get destroyed. Destruction ka meaning kya hai? Hall ticket fat jayega. Guru hai to kar lo, he says. If you have a guru, then you do. Because the guru will tell you ki tera jo hall ticket fata tha, that is not the end. There is more. Right? So Tandav by itself means rapid realignment, and it is carry big, and people say, Devaloka says that everything is going to get destroyed because their hall ticket is tearing. Unko realization aa raha hai, because let me tell you a fun fact. How many of you know Indra? Who is he? King of the Devaloka. Is he good? Why yaar? Sabhi ko disturb karta, he disturbs you every day, is it? But why do you say he disturbs people? आपका क्या है? लेते हैं? You passed. Then you passed. You reached here, no? Some pariksha at least 30-40 people तो fail हो गए आज. कोई तो कुछ ना कुछ तो हुआ है. Today morning hours only, me and my wife only got delayed. परीक्षा तो होगा. He will put the matchbox inside. कुछ तो करो. It is like that, and let me tell you, he's not the villain. That's his job. In every life of Brahma, there is 54,000 Indras, as per the Shastras. Kitne? And if you look at Indra with Grina, you will not get that posting. Project manager बनना है, MD बनना है, Big 4 का MD बनना है, Google का CEO बनना है, annual CTC should be 10,000 crores. वो तो हाँ, we want it. Wow. Indra भी बन सकते हो. Right? King of the Devaloka itself, and in Brahma's life there is 54,000. ले लो. Enjoy that also, because without knowing what that is and then serving the foot of Kal Bhairav, that is also a post. Right? So building the Bhairava mindset, most of the text messages that I receive will be from sadhakas who have been pushed into situations in their life where they begin to question their own sadhana. Right? That spiritual being is thrown into the circle of physical beings. उनको पता नहीं है कि वो कैसे handle करें. Please understand that you are thrown in those situations because वो karmically, by agami karma, by prarabdha karma, by sanchita karma. Of course, many of you have not opened it yet. अगर वो open हो रहा है तो it will be a huge fire. You will be able to burn many people's karma. जो भी आता है वो खा सकते हो. Karma खाना. What is your breakfast karma? What is your lunch karma? What is your dinner karma? हर किसी का कर्म. You will have that ability when you attain the state of being enlightened. You can burn others' karma also. Sanchita karma, the entire repository of karma, that is Krishna. The Krishna state itself, burning the karma of everybody in Kurukshetra. Happily, Ma Gandhari says, go and die alone. Nobody will come to you. Everybody will cry for you. People will say that you have ditched them. Okay, Ma, thank you. Done. The ability to burn that much of karma. So what happens when, okay, unko chodo. He's a realized being. What about me? You say all these stories. What about me, who's a simple man working in an office and my boss is absolutely screwing me? मैं ये कैसे handle करूँ? How do you handle it? How do you handle it? With a smile you will say, screw me more. Destroy me. Not everything needs a reaction. Learn to understand. Take the view of a drone. उड़ जाओ. Fly above the boss. Understand the situation. Unplug. He is at that state. He is still with his hall ticket. Now you are forced to work under him. Just like Krishna too could have simply destroyed Bhishma. You are wrong. Chale jao. Chakra. Why couldn't he do it? You are the master of karma. Bhairava does not destroy karma. He makes you go through it. Karma cannot be destroyed. Can you destroy her skirt? She wears karma as skirt itself. You'll say that destroy kar do. Then why does she wear that as identity? Every karmic being around you, you are the master of that being and also its specific state of consciousness. If you go and stand in front of a lion, what will it do? How can you eat me? Don't you know I am a Bhairava sadhak? You have to understand the Pashu state. And people get angry. He says everybody who disagrees with him is a Pashu. ये नहीं बोला मैंने. It is as per Tantra Shastra. Pashu, Veera and Divya. These are the three states of sadhakas. When you are facing somebody who is at the state of Pashu, usko ओए Pashu ऐसे नहीं बोलते. It is your duty to say that I understand the Pashu state of this being and I will allow it to be a Pashu. Very difficult, I know. But ये करोगे तो you will find your sadhana accelerating. It is a technique that says you are talking to the para prakriti that yes, I am attaining a higher state of being. It is all a test. We spoke about Indra, right? ये है test. When the Pashu comes and starts barking at you, will you immediately put the Brahmastra? Then तुम्हें power कहाँ से देंगे हम? Every hate comment if I find, अरे इसके ऊपर प्रयोग करेंगे. How dare he? Then do you think that I can go higher? My Shishyas will send me screenshots. Gurudev, ऐसे बोल दिया इसने. And you know what I tell them? Ignore and move on. ले लो. You should understand that specific being and its consciousness. It is very much and absolutely the son of Ma Kali itself. But he said that state you have to be. You have to attain the state of God, the mode of God, God mode. उसको switch on करके you have to turn yourself into that state. It is not that you worship one photograph. वो photo तुम्हारा है. तेरे अंदर जो एक छोटा सा दाने का टुकड़ा है ना, which is the size of the Atma itself. You are trying to make that photo into that Atma. Then you have to pretend, fake it till you make it. Test है. Boss भी आएगा, boss का boss भी आएगा. You know, at the highest states of my sadhana, I was talking to bosses whose highest understanding of reality is how to get that bonus check. And my sadhana was bursting. It would have been very easy for me to go to my asana and say that isko tod do ma. And she would have done it. But what would she think of me? He's not there yet. Right? I saw them get destroyed when they were adharmic, but I never asked for it. So it is you and you should not immediately reflect the Pashu. You should know when to react, when not to react. क्या हुआ? They're asking us to get out, is it? नहीं ना, time है. Usually we get kicked out of halls because I talk for too long. You should know when to react and when to simply shut up and smile. And no, you will not judge yourself saying that आज smile नहीं आ रहा है. It is fine. लगता है कि हम गॉड स्टेट में नहीं हैं क्योंकि इतना गुस्सा आ रहा है. इसको मारना है. इसके ऊपर विसिल ब्लोअर लेटर लिखूंगा अभी. That day he has favored this person. I did 5 PPT, that person did 1 PPT but went with this person for a sutta. Because of that he's got a promotion. Whistleblower likhunga. You will lose temper. You will lose hope. You will be very sad because Krishna made sure that he is recording that he went through this. I am so frustrated that I was not there during this Yudhishthir's game of dice. I could have stopped him. Imagine that. If Krishna had stopped the game of dice, अरे stop करो तो क्या होगा? What is Mahabharata? Purpose. There is greater purpose in every small test that the moment you have surrendered to Bhairava sadhana. Many of you have tricked me and said that you're not Kali, your Kali is not Ishta. I am truly disappointed. Right? It's a joke. Don't curse me. But I'm telling you, if you lose focus and lose temper also, please understand, he also lost. He also was so frustrated. Arey Arjun, shoot the arrow Arjun. इतना बड़ा script रच रहा हूँ मैं इधर. 10,000 years later this arrow will make sense Arjun, understand? नहीं. I cannot shoot this arrow at my... Arey Arjun, chalao please. Is that frustrating? So why should you alone not be frustrated? Now tell me, how do you face your boss? Parth. Listen to me, Parth. ये सब माया है, ऐसे मत बोलो. Right? Krishna could have given the Vishwarupa darshan to Duryodhan. Bhang. क्या? ये क्या है? Over, Mahabharata over. कौन लिखेगा अब? खत्म. Duryodhan fell on his feet. उसको भी मुक्ति मिल गया. Certain events have to happen. Kurukshetra is there in every street and in every house. Every bloodline is the Nayaka. And you have been birthed there to give it mukti. Even if you are Bhairava himself, you have attained that state, you will sit down and smile and talk to the boss in that specific role while understanding that he should reflect you and you should not reflect him. Right? Please, Arjun. अंडरस्टैंड. बहुत बड़ा स्क्रिप्ट है. इसमें तू एक छोटा सा एरो चलाओ ना. आई विल टेल यू लेटर अर्जुन, व्हेन यू आर एन आत्मा यू विल अंडरस्टैंड मैंने ये क्यों किया है. बट टुडे यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट यू हैव टू शूट. हाउ डू यू एक्सप्लेन? Krishna couldn't do it. He also had to take effort, sit down and teach. Some of them tried to arrest Krishna itself. Arey, who is this man? We took his army and still he is winning. Isko arrest karo yaar. Andar aa gaya na, pakdo. So what does Krishna do? Immediately send the Sudarshan Chakra. If you truly want to attain oneness with the deity, please understand that you will be tested too. That is why even the deities are very scared of taking an avatar and coming here. Because pakad lenge bhai. कुछ ना कुछ कर देंगे, ट्रैफिक में पकड़े जाओगे, you'll get so angry ट्रैफिक कॉप के साथ, अरे भाई बहुत बड़ा मिशन लेके आया हूँ मैं, चलान मत काट. I have such an extraordinary business, you please understand, इतना टीच करना है मुझे, don't waste my time. ये कौन है रे? So what should you do? Shut up and stop trying to act like God, but be God. Under God ho. You are the deity, but you will never convince the traffic cop. Your boss, your mother, mother-in-law. But I assure you, very slowly you will find that all of them very slowly seem to attain a state of peace when they look at you. Very slowly they begin to lose the Shakti to fight against you. Slowly you will find that they might project anger because they are rooted to the script of a 15-year-old and the hall ticket. But the eyes begin to betray and they begin to look at you as something worth respecting. Ye apne aap aayega. Then you understand that that test is slowly closing. And you will understand that celebration bhi nahi aa raha hai andar. Because you realize that the next Kurukshetra is opening. Are you ready for that test? Many of you will not be. Tomorrow morning you will get pretty pissed off at your boss. But understand, you are fine. It is okay to be pissed off. Krishna too couldn't handle many of the things that were happening. Imagine 5,126 years later I am able to quote him here. But he had to ensure that Arjun understood at that moment. Hare Arjun, please. बहुत बड़ा काम है भाई. Why don't you understand? Ye shoot karo, you have to do it. You have to kill him. Convincing him to kill his own gurus, his own uncles. Task to bahut bada hoga. Chahiye, you want the state of God, then get ready for it too. It is not a cakewalk. Everything you will have to face. The rishis, the munis, they do not like to take birth. But the Kali Sadhak, yes, my friends, if you identify as Bhairav Sadhak, please understand Bhairav is a Sadhak of Ma Kali. Because she is the body of Tantra itself. She is Tantra. And Bhairav is the Tantra Guru. Right? So if you have come here and you want to attain the state of Ma Kali, please understand, frustration to hoga hi. Your job is to understand that that is not your war. Your war is the greater purpose. And once you are tested and understood and gone above your bloodlines testings, then she gives you a bigger chart. Acha, ye kar liya. I have another task for you. Take 10,000 more bloodlines. In sabko clean karo. Right? So for that you will have to clear the test of your boss. Because I used to, जो भी spiritual शक्ति था, घुस के एकदम, oh this is my Kurukshetra, boss is the enemy, उसको shoot करो, destroy करो, ha, वो चला गया. He couldn't last 6 months. Next boss. Then I began to realize, what is this? Is this a test? Are people being thrown in front of us as a test? Yes. So Bhairava Sadhana, please understand, when you find that there are people testing you in your jobs, in your life, in your families, it is not for you to sit and fight with them, but to understand what it is, and you have to very slowly, effort after effort, effort after effort. Sri Krishna spoke to Arjuna for a very long time in order to convince him. So understand, you too have to rise, and yes, multiple tests will come. If you failed, ये board exam नहीं है. Fail हो गए तो neighbor के सामने insult हो गया, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Continuously you will be tested so that you attain the state of God itself. नहीं तो साधना क्यों करना है? We can simply visit temples whenever we have time, no? Sadhaka is not a religious person. He has risen to a state where the definition of religion itself begins to crumble. That is the spiritual being. That is the state of Shiva. And which one are you all running after? That state of Shiva which is not even moving, it keeps running. Dynamic ki to hoga. Does that make sense? How long has it been, Yash? नहीं बोलो ना बोलो पार्थ 1 hour हो गया. मैं कब स्टार्ट किया मैंने? 1.5 hours हो गया. 1.5 hours. There must be. Stop, huh? क्या? Since you are on the middle, right in front of me, he lifted. The silence. Why is silence important for a Bhairava sadhaka? If you notice, the main core difference between other Shiva forms and Bhairava form is Bhairava moves and the other Shiva form sits. So his alignment with Shakti is what makes him move. He's a moving Shiva, only Shiva that runs around. Other forms of... So, Ma says, see, can you change a 50-year-old man from his habits? No, right? Can you change a 16-year-old boy? Better chances. What if you get him at 8 and start teaching? Highest chance. So, batuk ban ke aao. What does Ma tell Shiva? The male part of Shiva, she says, you come as a son and I will teach you the entire path. So that is why the nature of Bhairava itself is movement. Because he is that part of Shiva that was taught by Shakti. Completely a student of Ma Kali. Batuk Bhairav, coached, trained, branded, manufactured by Kali. Completely. So that form of Shiva is running around everywhere. Yet there is a difference. There is a very core integral thing that you need to understand. As the energy rises, you should also imbibe within you silence. Learn to become an observer of events. Learn to detach from events that are brutally requiring an intervention, but still you will detach. Silence. Absolute silence. You will find that the last point that I made, no, stop reacting. Uska solution ye hai, silence. You can simply not react. When brutal moments are opening up in your life, brutal fights are opening up in your life, you can simply choose not to react. You will find that solution simply begin to open up within you. In the Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, we get a technique on how to silence ourselves. Bhairava being the moving Shiva, he says that you don't have to go and sit down in an ashram, in a yoga studio. If you want to sit down, that is fine. Till you have the urge for that, sit down. But he gives techniques that can be followed even while traveling in a bus, even while sitting up in front of your boss and you're being screwed and he's shouting at you and the saliva is falling on your face. Bhairava, ho nahi raha mujhse. ये भी एक reality है पार्थ, देख लो. Right? Even at that moment, without your yoga mat, you don't have to immediately say, अरे yoga mat कहाँ है? Meditate करना पड़ेगा. Absolutely relevant techniques, yoga and the path, because my yoga practicing shishyas and people who watch will now attack me. So I'm putting the caveat here. Yoga is a relevant path. But Bhairava, the moving Shiva, when he says meditation, it is your ability to meditate while being screamed at by a boss too. What? How do you do that? The second technique, simply focus on the two ends of your breath. तो है, आंखें खुली है, you're looking at the boss, you're detaching from every word he's speaking and the saliva is not falling on your face anymore. Right? Simply focus on the beginning, end. Beginning, end. And start reciting your japa. That is the silence that I speak about. Not that you not just your tongue that you control. Get into breath work. So that means that some secret is being revealed. Something to do with the breath to hai. Lekin yoga mat to, you cannot immediately open a yoga mat. Put it in front of your boss and sit down. Boss ke cabin pe. वो क्या सोचेगा? By looking at you, will type to the HR. ये तो गया भाई. I do not take responsibility of this boy. This girl has opened a yoga mat in my cabin and she has gone. Bhairava says, you do not have to detach and run away from any part of your life, but I will give you realization. How? What is the secret? Pani? For 72 hours. You'll still be alive without it. So you're not truly dependent on it. You're made up of 70-80% body water, right? I got the fact right. Reels देखने का कुछ तो फायदा हुआ. Right? Food to 2 months, no dependence. Breath. The second technique in Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, without any yoga mat, whether you are wearing the blue-collared worker suit or whether you are a white-collared employee, whether you are the businessman who's been screamed, become glassy-eyed, look at the person who's screaming at you itself and get into breath work. Focus on the two ends. Do not purposely bring two ends. वो नहीं कर, वो कर सकते हो घर पे. Our idea is not to scare the boss, right? Focus on the two ends of your breath. Natural breath. And be there and start reciting your japa. You will find that a smile also begins to come. Sit down, comedy ho raha hai. Huh? My boss, he used to watch my videos after I quit. So he realized a lot of things that happened in his life and who was the subordinate. And then he started watching, all of them started watching. And the entire office, my ex-companies, all of them now when I simply react to their message, they say, Jai Ma. They had no clue. So Ma was very kind to hide the fact that I was in sadhana. Though like good fame, decent fame was there on YouTube and Insta and all of that, but none of my office colleagues had any clue. So she did that Maya. And after I became an unemployed youth, I am part of the census which says I am an unemployed youth now. Now they all watch. And they are, oh, acha, ye tha hamare paas. Now they call me for meetings and try to meet me, but then I tell them that, wo ab nahi hai. If you come and whatever you speak to me will not make sense to me anymore because wo mar gaya. I am this now. And now to meet me, you come in the path of sadhana only. Only then there is anything for us to talk. Because if I meet now, you'll ask me questions about career and all of that. Wo to I don't even remember anymore. So I was associate director in one of the top banks in India at 27, AVP, VP, ye sab dekh liya. After that, one day, the last day of my notice period, the next day I was in a smashan in Bangalore with my first satsang. And ab yahi hai. Now, yeah, bosses who lost their jobs suddenly in 30 days after having a fight, वो सब they wonder and like, सच में ये कुछ है क्या? ये कौन है ये? इतना बड़ा मूर्ति लेके बैठा था. I never revealed anything to do with my sadhana at work. Because, there you shut up and just pretend. Inside japa chal raha hota hai, you just smile at them. Jai Ma, Jai Ma. But you don't compete. I was never available for the parties. I was never available for the late evening meetings, sutta, that boss ko butter up karna. None of that I was available. But of course my path was leading like this. But if you think, a 21, 22-year-old boy, let me tell you today, there are some things that you will have to do just to get the absolute release at 33, 35. Right? Don't try to be that aghori monk at 21, 22. I got a comment from a teenager saying that they're waiting to do a Shav sadhana. That is not what it is. And they're saying that they are not able to focus on their exams. That is not at all what it is. If you have an exam and you have dependent parents, they are dependent on you as a child, they have their focus on you. If you're going to tell them that I am going to get into Shav sadhana, because of that I will not write NEET exam, what will they do? They will simply make it really difficult for you. So what do? Sit down and do your karma yoga. Even though my guru is extremely aged, the moment you say the word karma yoga, he'll start screaming, yahi karna hai, karma yoga karo. Time ho jata hai to guru will khatkata on your door. Right? That video I just put 2 days back. So in office, I was never insincere, though I was always available. Always good at my job. But I was weak in buttering up, because buttering up part I was using it somewhere else. I was a brilliant buttering up for here, and she also ensured that anybody was asking that buttering towards them, she would remove them from my life. But none of them knew. Nobody knew that I was into sadhana and all of that. So we divulged and went somewhere else completely. So how badly do you want to control your life? How many of you feel that sadhana should give you an ability to control your life? This is a big time Aghori group I have. Hardly 3 or 4 of them are even in samsara. Rest of them are already in the smashan. They are already aghoris. So nobody wants to control your life. Right? Then why did you all come here and sit down? You could have said that, why should I listen to this foolish fellow? It's not, no. Do you want to control or not? That is the question. Do you want to be in control of your life? Do you respect events as it unfolds, or do you want to control it as it unfolds and streamline it? You don't want to control. Now I want a proper answer, otherwise my script will go waste. I for dala hai flight pe. I could have listened to, I could have been watching some movies, right? Huh? You want Ma to control. Then you see who she is controlling here. You have to attain that oneness with that space. So there are a few instances in the Mahabharata which teaches us about how much of control is truly required on your daily activities and how much is to be simply surrendered to the deity itself. Krishna weeps, absolutely weeps at the death of Abhimanyu. Absolutely weeps, gets destroyed. Right? Rare instances when you see that Krishna is breaking down. Absolutely. But at the same time, when Ghatotkacha, who is he? Son of Bhima. What was he doing? He actually smiles. And Arjuna is so angry, he starts fighting with Krishna, saying that, what have you done? You have sent my own nephew to death. You have sent him, this is murder. Why did you send him to his death? But Krishna smiles, knowing what? In order to get a greater thing done, in order to de-arm Karna from his most powerful weapon, what did he have to do? He had to sacrifice an Atma who will now attain Mukti. So what message does that give you? Certain losses, certain loss of face, certain arguments that you are losing today, because I have lost many arguments at work, in family, all of that. It truly is simply karmic and it is leading to something extraordinary. How can the death of Arjun's nephew be extraordinary? How do you explain that to Arjun? Arjun, you should understand that this is an extraordinary event that has happened and I have planned it myself. And what is that event? Death of the nephew. How do you explain? Can you explain? If I am, poof, you became Krishna. Now you are standing in front of Arjun. Explain, Karo, that why you smiled. How many of you are ready for it? How many of you have siblings? Wow, jam-packed. Now visualize yourself that you are explaining why you smiled at the death of the nephew to your own sibling. Can you do it? But what's the purpose? The greater purpose justified. Arjun would not exist if the nephew had not been sacrificed. If Ghatotkacha has not been sacrificed, Arjun simply would not exist. And none of us, me here, I would struggle to teach this a lot if Mahabharata didn't exist. Right? So I understand how he helped me by smiling there and taking blame from Arjuna. Arjuna is attacking Krishna. How dare you smile, and you did this. You are the one who sent my young nephew to fight with Karna, knowing that he has such a weapon, knowing that if Ghatotkacha attacks the army in the nights, the Kuru's armies in the nights, definitely they will stop him only by this weapon. No other weapon will work. Knowing this, you have sent them, Krishna. You're so cruel. You're a villain for me now. I will not accept you anymore. But Krishna knew why he did it, right? So how does this apply in your life? Which Ghatotkacha is there in your life? As a sadhaka, especially Bhairava sadhaka, please understand that he will himself make sure that there are situations of intense loss in your life, so that something extraordinary at some other space is opened and tallied. ऐसे ही करती है. Her ways are extraordinary. Ways so extraordinary that it will make no sense. You will think that you're completely lost and got defeated. You're completely lost face. You've completely become nothing in front of your colleagues. in front of family members. But in reality, an extraordinary door just got secured for you. These are not stories. These are the techniques towards the self. Some losses have to be taken. Imagine the attack. I've just given you the absolute script. All of you seem to have siblings. Up to you have to imagine. Arey, this is for your own good. 10,000 years later, this will have value. Can you explain that to your sibling? So, if you truly want to become a sadhaka, people use the word sadhak very easily today, but it is an extremely high level of responsibility. It is you saying that I want to become a walking, breathing, traveling, cloth wearing, watch wearing temple. How many of you are ready to be sadhakas? This crowd is too strong. I am unable to take them down. So next time this situation actually opens up, not the nephew part, kuch to aayega, right? Because all of us might not be able to take such extraordinary accusations yet, but many of you will take it. At that moment, understand that something extraordinary is opening up somewhere else, and that is why you are taking this pain right now, which cannot be explained. There are certain things that have to be done, and you will be blamed, pulled down, and called the villain. You will have to take that. If not, there is an easy way out. Fight. Baith ke fight kar lo. Be at their level. Move from the Veera to the Pashu state. Indulge in the Pashu state. You know, fighting gives a little bit of release, right? It feels good to fight, right? Who doesn't like to fight? A sibling ke saath fight karna. You don't like to fight? You love to fight, right? You never fight. You like to or you don't like to? You're showing like this, so I think you don't like to fight. Huh? Acha. You watch what? You have become the drone. Not drona. The drone. So if you do not have the capability or build the capability within yourself to understand that you will be absolutely blamed and pulled down, for many of the things that are happening in your bloodline, you will not be given the main character. Because the main character always bleeds. Be it any other religion too. Any religion, any message from the cosmos, if it has to come to you, the main character will always be in pain. The most revered avatar of Mahavishnu, Sri Rama, whose name, if you take it thrice, it is the Vishnu Sahasranama itself. They say, was his life enviable? How many of you would like to have the life of Sri Rama? Everything you have to lose. Main character ho, your only job is to take birth and release that bloodline. Pain to hoga hi. And every sadhak is a main character. There is no other way out. If you think that you want a peaceful, painless life, sadhana of deities are not required. You just need to worship in temples, follow charts on tithis you worship. Don't try to become the temple. But if you truly understand that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am here to do a specific job to this bloodline, to this specific creation, this specific consciousness that has birthed me into this place, and I do not simply want to be like a tree, a rock, a simple dust on the roadside. I want to create something, break down something and be remembered. Gujarat, though, people like to be remembered. They do not, they say that in Gujarat they're very business minded, they look at finance, but no, I refuse to believe that. I think that many of you carry within your own blood the ability to now break beyond finances and look at time, to leave an impression behind, to be the most extraordinary being in that bloodline who gave mukti to the entire bloodline. For that you have to become the main character, and the main character always bleeds. That doesn't mean that you'll always be in pain. You'll always be crying. You're always in absolute pain. No. You will have fun too, but please understand, to have fun you should be able to detach a little bit and understand from the viewpoint of a drone, and to not get deeply rooted and every time get slipped back into the state of the Pashu. The more and more you get slipped into the state of the Pashu, the more difficult sadhana becomes and you will quit. I would say that if 10 people start sadhana today, especially of Ma Kali, maybe 3 to 4 quit very soon, because it is difficult because of this, because you do not understand how difficult life will become. And difficulty of life is the very sutra to attain the state of the deity. No deity, no rishi that has ever stepped into this Maya, this Kala Chakra filled with Maya, has had a good life. Right? If you have good life, then you will compensate with the bad life also, because within Maya you have to learn every part of her creation. But if you come here and you are saying that I am the sadhaka, I have come to give mukti to my bloodline, and then beyond that I want to give something to the rest of the world, then what you just signed up for is a lot of pain. Sanchita karma, you are saying that I want to burn the karma of the entire cosmos. I want to burn the karma of my neighbor. Right? But wo Shakti bhi aayega. She will power you in that way, but understand, test will begin with your boss, test will begin with your sibling, test will begin at the traffic signal, test will begin with your husband, your wife. How do you do that? Are you truly ready for higher realms? That is where the test begins. So, I think we're majorly done. Do not expect a safety net. You are the safety net for those around you. Especially as you go higher in sadhana, you must build the ability to give adhara to a lot of people around you. You will find that they flock to you, take dependence on you. They are your kids. Your own parents will appear as if they are newborns begging for milk. They will not make sense to you. Realize that certain secrets are opening up to you. Realize that your own body is being mastered by you at that moment. Why have your parents behaved in a certain manner which now appears as if you need to teach them? At that state will come. For many of you it might not have come yet, but it is going to come, and that is the test you need to overcome. And when you give mukti to your own parents, then you are Adi Ananta, that being which has no parents, because they have all culminated in one single body, that is you. And your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, going all the way till Brahma, sit within you, and you simply become formless. You become the Shivling. You become Shiva itself, the highest state of pure consciousness. Right? So this is the whole purpose of Bhairava sadhana, so that you attain the state of Shiva. But unfortunately for some of you mad people, you are saying that you don't just want the sleeping part of Shiva, you want the one that stands like this. Then you also need to take up higher purposes. You will find higher purposes opening up in life. Ma cannot be contained in one specific role. You need to continuously allow. You must become the best conductor of Shakti. If you want to truly progress in Kali path, become the best conductor of Shakti. If there is no outlet, why do we do so much of sevas at Kaliputra mission? Why do I force my sadhakas to witness what happens outside their homes? Bring change. Become the agents of change. In Kaliputra mission, it is mandatory that my Shishyas go and visualize pain, understand why their roof leaks. What is the feeling of a roof leaking? Number one, it protects them from ever being that in a future life, because they are looking at that, understanding that pain and becoming that pain. And through the mother, whatever money she puts into our accounts, we try and fix those problems. Thereby, we have seen the pain and the joy of its release. When the container inlet hai, but there is no outlet, you cannot do Shakti sadhana. The masculine part of Shiva is unmoving, but the feminine part says that, why do you want me? Why do you want me? You go to any Devi Kshetra, worship and go. Why do you call me to your small house and say that there is no outlet? What change do you wish to bring if you do not even wish to bring change in the relatives that are now your Shishyas? If you do not even wish to bring change in the pin code where you live, then why do you want the greatest Shakti that is running around somewhere, expanding the universe at 74 kilometers per second? Why do you want this Shakti in your house? Don't call me. कुछ नहीं करना है तो काली क्यों चाहिए? Visit temples and attain, go do sadhana in temples. Why do you want to bring her home? So Shakti comes to he who gives her release towards specific purposes. मुझे ये सब लेना है, मुझे ये सब खाना है, मैं ही करूँगा, through me you operate, माँ. लेकिन इसका टेस्ट कहाँ पे शुरू होता है? It happens in your life. It happens in your job. It will happen with your husband. It will happen with your wife. First test उधर होता है. Then comes one child who has all the characters of your grandmother, grandfather living. They come and live through you. You are giving mukti to your bloodline. You are not the victim of its circumstances, but you are its savior. पागल है लगता है, हाँ पागल ही है. परंपरा is खेपा, the divinely insane. When you say that I am the stop point of karma of this bloodline, that is when Ma says, because she loves it. She loves it when somebody says that I am going to bear the karma of this entire bloodline and give it mukti. To him she will offer more bloodlines to give mukti to. This is the secret of Kali path. Then people get angry who are rooted in rituals. They attack me and say, oh, this man, he's not talking about some rituals. What is this? What was the ritual of Krishna in Kurukshetra? What was the ritual of Krishna's life? 36 name of Kali, Ma Devaki, name of Kali, Ma Yashoda, name of Kali, attain the siddhi of your womb. Then she'll come as the adopting mother, Ma Yashoda, and take care of you. To truly call her Ma, first attain absolute equilibrium with your own blood. Ma Devaki in your life. Give her mukti. No, it is not going to be easy. Bloodlines are rooted in pain. Bloodlines are rooted in absolute self-destruction today. Bloodlines are terrible today because it's Kali Yuga. But get into the mode of the drone, float above and look at your mother. You must fix your blood and then ask her, make me a bigger vessel. She will make you that. You will be able to fix a lot of bloodlines. And when you go, even your grandson doesn't remember your name. That situation won't be there. Many grandsons will remember your name. That level of selfish arrogance should be there for Lok Kalyan. Then Kali comes. नहीं तो मुझे क्यों बुला रहे हो? अरे मुझे क्यों बुला रहे हो? छोटे छोटे क्या promotion you need? One of the yoginis will come, Ma Maheshwari will come. She'll give you, मुझे क्यों बुला रहे हो? Maheshwari तुम उधर बैठ जाओ. Take care of this boy. Every time he goes to these temples, Ma Maheshwari will come, the yogini of Ma Kali, she'll take care of everything for you. But if you say that, नहीं ये सब नहीं है, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj की तरह, I want to be known as the father of the Indian Navy. When he wanted to launch the Navy, everybody, his ministers, everybody called him, ये क्या कर रहे हैं? Navy क्यों चाहिए? But today he's called the father of Indian Navy. Right? When you look at extraordinary things, that is when you call a deity like Ma Kali. Right? तो कहाँ पे homework करना है? Where is the observation book? Record is later. Observation कहाँ है? Old bloodlines. Master it, own it, उसको मुक्ति दो. It is not your permanent life. You have come here just to give it mukti. छोटा सा एक एपिसोड चल रहा है, उसको ख़त्म करो और नेक्स्ट पे चलो. एंड आई एम टेलिंग यू 3 years में हो जाएगा. 3 years you can give mukti and all the entire family simply begins to look up to you like they have seen Krishna. ये कौन है ये, like how is this person able to break down our biggest fights that I had with my nani, biggest fight I had with my sister, this fellow is able to just break it. वो शक्ति देगी, because she realizes that within you, you have that nature of Shiva who runs around when the entire Devaloka, Asuraloka are drinking and the Amrita, he says, give me halahal. जिसके अंदर वो तत्व है, उसी को माँ मिलती है. Who only wishes for that one promotion, that one problem solve कर दो माँ, उसको ना हलाहल भी नहीं मिलता और the state of Shiva भी नहीं मिलता. Every Kali sadhaka must birth till the very end of Kali Yuga. That is another bad news for some of you. That if you are a Kali sadhaka, you'll have to keep coming back till the last day, because Kakara Varna Sarvangi, all that is described by Ka is Kali. So who is Kalki? Oh, अरे अब तो ये कल्की पे चला गया. Kakara Varna Sarvangi, Kakara Varna Sthita. Why did all these names come? Then what is Ka? Right? So 2027 we'll do Kali is Kalki. Right, Ma? Ho gaya. That is my script. My watch says, please get up. You're not got up for 2 hours. Done? How many of you had something of use by coming here? Right? I hope it was useful. What is our plan now? Refreshments. What do we have? We bring the most, see, I'm going to sell it now. We bring the most extraordinary buttermilk that can give you mukti. Please drink it like that. Know that you're drinking Kali itself. It's not halahal. It is the Amrita. Right? Jama.
Jai Ma Adya Ma Kali. We'll now begin with the question and answers. So, Gurudeva, the first question. The first question is, for Nama Mantra, we can chant it anywhere, anytime. There is no restriction as such. Does the same go for Bija Mantras, be it Swarnakashana Bija Mantra or any Ma Kali forms Bija Mantras, or they can only be chanted in asana? And how do we incorporate Bija Mantras in our Nitya Sadhana?
Okay. So, going back to the reels, right? There is this man who has this small instrument. He goes through this entire mountainous regions. He's very famous. I don't know if anybody has seen it. What he does is he just pokes that instrument into the mud and he plants small trees. Pata nahi how many of you have seen? He keeps poking. He's trekking and he keeps poking, and see, trees are planted. So each tree is going to become huge and extraordinary, and he himself is making one forest. Assuming even 50% success rate, if in an hour he is posting 10 trees, imagine that. Right? ऐसे ही होता है बीज मंत्र. So this small thing that I wear, this is 27 plus 1 रुद्राक्ष. Right? जब भी बोर हो जाता हूँ, I begin to realize the futility of life. I begin to do my Guru Mantra that my Guru has given me. Other solution is what is that called? Clicker that you have. If you don't see in an office, if you suddenly start taking out the mala and doing the japa, it will be a problem, right? Chupe hue ho, to you are hidden. You are gupt. You are acting in your office, right? Like, you're playing that role. You cannot suddenly start doing japa over there. Where is my asan bolke? You cannot keep her photo, light a lamp. So, all this your deity understands, but your deity too, especially in Shakti path, which if you're in a feminine worship, right, your ability to sit and do the japa of your any mantra, whichever it is, Naam Jap ho, Bija Mantra ho, you're seeding it deeper and deeper and deeper, and the more you are doing japa and doing ekagrita of your entire energy into that specific form, you're visualizing and doing the japa. it will have incredible benefits. Incredible, to the extent that that is your most powerful kavach. Right? If you're not able to do it and your boss is screaming at your face, then of course, you will not be able to take your mala out and do it at that moment. You will have to do that breathing technique. But otherwise, whenever possible, while doing the breathing technique that I mentioned, where you look at the stops, where does your breath start, where does it end? Not forcefully, not by purposely breathing, naturally jahan pe breath ho raha hai. A point, B point. Stay in between and do simply ek mala karo. Just do one mala. It matters and it does accumulate. It is, especially since you are somebody who takes sankalp and not just randomly doing mantras you found online, आप actually वो deity के पीछे भाग रहे हो. You have that intense urge towards that deity. Even doing 27 mantra repetition, 4 if you do, you have done one full mala. Even one has absolute benefits. कहीं पे भी जा सकते हो, छिप जाओ, pantry में छिप जाओ, ऑफिस के पीछे चिपके do 4 malas. Everything matters. And it actually roots you deeper into the deity's form. So beej mantra ho, jo bhi ho, your job is to keep repeating it whenever you can. Mala bhi nahi le sakte, kuch bhi nahi le sakte. Do the breathing technique and immediately start the japa. You are seeding it deeper. That next second you're on your asana. Right? But sankalp le rahe ho, saying that I am taking a sankalp, now I'll do the mantra which my guru has given, the specific bija mantra, on my asana, then the deity will come at the same time you have taken sankalp, wo bhi baithegi, tum bhi baith rahe ho. During that time it is important that you're on your asana. Us time pe ek din bhi todna mat. Because she will also come. Right? She will also sit there waiting for you. When she comes, he is also there. When you think of Kali, please don't think it is just the feminine. The masculine part is also there. Shiv and Shakti, they're both there. So sankalp ke time pe what you do while walking around does not matter. That is for your nitya upasana. But when you walk around, have a clicker if you're truly, you want that physical accreditation, and it helps a lot because you're all in a physical body. And when you have when the mantra is running physically, it allows you to get into that mindset very easily. And it will become deeper as opposed to you saying 5 times and just forgetting it. एक टारगेट रख के कर रहे हो ना, द माइंड बिगिन्स टू ट्रूली विजुअलाइज द डिएटी एट दैट मोमेंट एंड इट डज नॉट मैटर वेयर यू आर. बस में जा रहे हो, बॉस के कैबिन में हो, कहीं पे भी कर सकते हो. क्लिकर्स कैन बी हिडन नाइसली. दे विल ओनली बी एबल टू सी दैट स्मॉल बिट, बट डोंट मेक इट कॉन्वर्सेशन पीस. कॉन्वर्सेशन नहीं बनाना है. राइट? दिस माला विल डेफिनेटली बिकम कॉन्वर्सेशन. तांत्रिक है वो. ही इज सम काइंड ऑफ अ तांत्रिक. वो कुछ करता है, जॉब ही चला जाएगा. Clickers you can hide better. So it does matter. Keep reciting your mantras, never stop it. And it will help you to exit most of the painful situations that you have to bear due to karma yoga. जब वो हो रहा है आपके सामने, हॉस्पिटल में बैठ रहे हो, you're getting absolutely screwed by relatives and all of that, this japa will save you. That is the power of mantra. उसको seed करना अंदर. You need to push it deeper and deeper and it truly helps you. Mantra is just the vibration, right? That specific बीज का जो उच्चारण जब करते हो ना, that vibration, it is the deity itself. And Adya Kali is all the bija mantras. Her teeth, 2 days back we had this name. All her teeth are bija aksharas, as powerful as that. So doesn't matter whether it is bij mantra ya naam jap. Don't think the naam jap is inferior. Continuously recite it. Jai Ma.
Thank you, Gurudeva. The second question is that modern life itself is a chaotic battlefield. How can we live like Shiva internally, completely untouched and still, while executing our daily duties with the fierce, unyielding intensity of Ma Kali externally?
So you cannot live like Shiva.
No, sorry.
ये क्या है? Buzzer हो गया. You can live like Shiva, I think. Wrong answer. So the state of Shiva has many definitions. How do I live like Shiva is an incomplete question, right? What state of Shiva are you talking about? The one who is there with the Bhasma Arti sitting in the cosmic Smashan, where all the Trimurtis, Devaloka, Asuraloka, सब कुछ नष्ट हो चुका है and the end of Kali Yuga has happened. Satyug का formation का time हो रहा है. That Bhasma, everything Ma takes and puts on him. That Shiva you want to be? Or you want to be this Shiva which is Batuk Bhairav itself walking around entire Devaloka chalte hain wo, Asur lok chalte hain, he takes all of their prana and becomes the master of the timeline. That Shiva you can be anywhere. That is why you're in the path of Batuk Bhairav. That is why you're in the Bhairava path. So you can be that in any state of your life. There is nothing stopping you. Raho, Shiv hi ho. Right? But the definition of Shiv, you are going back to the texts which speak about Shiva, a distant being. Right? When you come to Bhairava, Shiva comes towards you. Shiva rushes towards Brahma. Right? Bhairava rushing towards Brahma to give realignment. What does that mean? This Shiva is not distant but an absolute reality right in front of your nose. And he is also going to decapitate you and take control of your life. Your definition of life will definitely change. So this question again deeply roots us into the understanding of Shiva state. We are not understanding that Batuk Bhairav is a Shiv form. Right? Then though you can be that form. We spoke about it for so long. You're taking control of your life and the Kala Chakra, then you are Shiva. The form kya hai? Bhairav. One that moves you towards Shakti. Then can you do it continuously? Absolutely you can. That was the question, right? Can you do Shiv sadhana while going through the chaos of life? Chaos mein hi aate hain. Imagine the chaos of Brahma when he lost a head. Chaos hi hai na? Was that comfort? So this form comes when there is chaos only. And the Tandav full time, he's holding the Damaru, full time Tandav and realignment will happen. Chaos ke andar hi hai ye form. He is deeply rooted within chaos. So chaos mein kaun sa form karna hai? Bhairav. Jai Ma.
Thank you, Gurudeva. Next up is Guruji. People say that Duryodhana has attained moksha because he was true to his birth, but you also mentioned that Asuric tendencies or Asuric natured people will have multiple births in different designs and they finally learn and come to Dharma and the path of the fifth head. So then how did Duryodhana get moksha?
So every time you truly understand the purpose of Duryodhana, who is the son of Ma Gandhari, which is somewhere in the 620 series of the Kali Sahasranama only. I'll keep repeating that. That is my only sutra to life. So Ma Gandhari's son Duryodhana, every time you truly understand his purpose in that event, he attains moksha in your bloodline. Right? You are looking at a collective figure and saying that Duryodhan ko moksha mila tha ya nahi, like he is one neighbor. Nahi. In your life, every time you truly understand that without Duryodhana, there is no Mahabharata itself, no Kurukshetra, you are giving him mukti. If you look at him as an enemy, a negative character, a villain, then you are losing the greatest learning. He was born with the Atma which is as pious as Arjun, as pious as Shri Krishna itself. Right? Duryodhan ke andar it was not a special formula or something. That same Atma is there, rooted in the state of being Duryodhana. But when you understand why he was there and why that lesson came to you only because of him, then he also becomes an Ayaka only. And the son of Ma Kali, through her name Gandhari, which is the name of Kali. So when you truly understand this, you have given mukti to Duryodhana in your birth. Don't worry about mukti of Duryodhana and somebody randomly on the railway platform, if you pull them and say, Duryodhana achhe the nahi, bure the, bahut bure the, then that is none of your business. Smashan mein sab to akele lete hai na. So understand that Duryodhan's mukti matters in your story. Have you truly understood the depth of Duryodhana and given him mukti? Then moksha mil gaya. But the neighbor ko, if you ask him, he will say, nay, terrible man. Very bad. Nobody should be like him. Then he has not yet understood. See, he is still religious and spirituality, which is the spirit within Duryodhana, is still not understood. Right? So don't become collective. Define the depth of each birth by understanding deeply that Atma andar pure hai, ego hai, jiska the body has a shape. Duryodhana's leg was this length, Bhima was this length, but andar Atma to same hi hai. Tatparya when you get, then in your story Duryodhan ko mukti mil gaya. Other stories mein abhi bhi wo hai, stuck hai. He is still alive as a villain. The day you realize Duryodhan bhi Gandhari, Ma Gandhari ka beta tha, uska purpose ye tha, aapke life mein unko mukti mil gaya. Jai Ma. What an answer.
The next question.
माँ भी बोलती है कुछ कुछ. And I also wonder if it makes sense, but ऐसे निकल जाता है.
The next question, if Kali is the only thing which makes sense, how can one make sure they are going towards the state of Divya?
If Kali is the only thing that makes sense,
how can one make sure they are going towards the state of Divya?
you can't make sure. There is nothing to make sure. Again, we are putting the pure consciousness into a framework, right? 16 or 15 years में board exam, 35 में promotion. Framework में आ गया तो pure consciousness नहीं है. Right? So what is Divya first of all? Divya simply means the highest state a sadhaka can attain in Mrityuloka. So Pashu, which is somebody who is rooted in the self, वो खुद का काम करता है, बंगला बनाना है, घर में पैसे आना है, बच्चे मेरा शर्मा जी से अच्छे मार्क मिले. My son has got a better placement than them. Then comes the Veera who begins to question the reality or the idea of the ego. That is the highest state most will attain. Most bloodlines udhar tak pahunche, it's a big deal. Then comes a Divya who is able to now eat the karma, sanchita karma of the other people too. So can Kali give you that? Yes, she can. But is it like going to be in a framework? No. Framework ke hisab se to people cannot even accept the iconography of Kali, right? 2 times you pressurize on the form that she is standing on Mahakala, most Hindus will start protesting. नहीं हो सकता है, ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है, right? तो identified ego, when it begins to crumble and you begins to understand I am here to break the identified ego, then you become a Veera. And when you realize that now I have understood that and I want to teach everybody too, then you attain the state of Divya. So outlet matters. दिव्य बन के घर पे बैठना है तो नहीं मिलेगा, राइट? डिएटी जो ओपनली टेम्पल में खड़े हैं बोल रहे हैं कि आ जाओ सबका मैं, आई एम स्टैंडिंग फॉर एवरीबडी, इंक्लूडिंग द वर्स्ट क्रिमिनल, इंक्लूडिंग द बेस्ट मैन, इंक्लूडिंग द वर्स्ट सॉर्ट ऑफ क्राइम्स करके जो आ रहा है उसको भी पाथ दिखाने के लिए जो कृष्ण खड़े थे ना, दैट स्टेट इफ यू आर रेडी ओनली देन you'll attain the state of Divya. So हाँ, माँ काली का साधना करना है तो ये बोलो कि हाँ I want to be the one who eats the sanchita karma itself, then only you'll get Divya state. अगर मेरा कोर्स फी भर के if 20 people are coming to my class, then I will give them mukti, वो भी नहीं चलेगा. Divya state is when absolute openness. Anybody walking on the street वो कुछ भी बोले कि मुझे मेरे लाइफ में ये प्रॉब्लम है, immediately जब तुम उसको solution देते हो, the moment you give solution to them, you are actually undoing karma and you will take pain of it. Which is why most sadhus ran into the forest. क्योंकि उसमें ना एक escape भी है. If somebody comes in front of you and asks for a solution to a specific karmic issue, if you do not give it, then why do you want the power of the Divya? The sadhu loses the Shakti. So he has to give solution. Whoever comes in front of you with the right urge within, for the right seek within, the seeking right, you have to give the solution. तो क्या करेंगे? Solution क्या है? They found one escape route. Forest में भाग जाओ, कोई नहीं आएगा अंदर, है ना? So that is why they went to the most distant places. But if somebody landed there, they gave the solution and ate the karma. So Divya state, if you want to only identify with my life, my promotion, my business, my son, my daughter, my bungalow, Divya state will not open for you. Because Divya state becomes, it does not identify with any boundaries anymore. There is no framework. If you are ready to eat the sanchita karma, only then the Divya state even opens up. Otherwise, the Veera is a brilliant state to be in. Right? लेकिन दिव्य बनना है तो entire Kurukshetra, Shri Krishna tells Ma Gandhari, when she looks at his face and says, are you not ashamed? It is you who has caused this war, killed all the sons of so many widows, so many sisters, so many families have got destroyed. There is only decaying flesh that is smelling in the entire Bharata itself. What have you done? Right? Then Krishna says that every single drop of blood that spilt is mine, which means he has felt the pain of every cut on every body, every arrow piercing. Right? So this is a secret of how to be the God itself. So if you identify as one IT engineer, or if you identify as one businessman, Divya state will never open up. Kitna kha paoge? How much can you eat? That determines what you can be. नहीं तो वीर बनो. Veeras are remembered for eternity. वो भी बहुत brilliant state ही है. Very rarely people attain that state. But दिव्य बनना है तो I gets destroyed first. It becomes everybody's. जो भी आए, you'll have to give a solution, eat karma. You give a solution that is giving pain to a family, you will eat that pain for next 48 days. तेरे life में वो आएगा. This is real life incidents. That is why sadhus run and try to hide. Right? But उसमें भी एक secret है, they will have to keep coming back. Mother is very tricky. कलयुग के end तक कौन teach करेगा फिर? Jama.
The next question is...
One second. Our cameras are working. And how is the recording? Kyunki mother also plays a lot of tricks with us. There are so many satsangs that we don't have recordings. One satsang, the cameraman switched it on, switched it off. We had reels. He himself made reels. We had like 20 or 30 clippings. We couldn't do anything with it. But in Bangalore, finally we managed to. So every time we start a new topic, इसमें वो how does the audio get recorded? अच्छा तो आ जाएगा. You also have to be a little louder. Otherwise, I think question will not get recorded. Very dangerous she is. दो और सत्संग करवाना है तो audio will switch off. जय माँ.
Guruji, whenever I see or hear the word Guru, it's male in most of the cases, and their better half Guruma are always in supportive role. I know there is no gender when it comes to spirituality, and I understand there is discrimination in spirituality. There is no discrimination in spirituality, but I always wonder whenever any woman wants to walk on spiritual path, she faces very stupid or silly problems from society while males have privileges. So my question to you is, what does a female look like when she becomes the Bhairava of her bloodline? For women to attain Bhairava Tattva is difficult, as you said, but how does a woman feel and observe when she completely attains Bhairava Tattva? Especially women who are divorced or don't want to marry anyone and want to remain single. Men can spend many hours in puja path and sadhana, but women can't.
Jama. So already the tricks have begun. Right? She said there is a lot of issues in spirituality when you wanted to say it does not exist in spirituality. So the game has already begun. I've spoken about this at length in many of my videos, but still many of my female shishyas don't like it when I say this. Right? One of the names of Ma Kali is Panchali, daughter of fire itself, the entire cause of Kurukshetra. Right? But we do not accept her as a guru. That is where the answer is. We simply think that she is one more suffering lady, a lady in pain, the damsel in distress. Nahi hai. Panchali was absolutely strong, so strong that she could have actually held the sari with her, this is the description in Mahabharata, with the tip of her fingers. Then Dushasana could not have pulled the sari anymore. Do you know that? She purposely allows that to happen so that we understand the Leela. Right? So is Panchali not a guru? Every event in Mahabharata, you remove Ma Panchali, Arjuna could not have borne the pain that Ma Panchali could bear. Is she not the Bhairava Tattva? Bhima could not have borne the pain that Ma Panchali bore. No character in the entire Mahabharata has borne as much of pain to give the message. Who gives message? Message is given by the Guru, which is the name of Kali itself. So there is no greater guru than Ma Panchali at all. In fact, in one of my earliest videos when I called Ma Panchali as Kali, as per the Sahasranamavali, one of the first hate comments I got in my life was for this point only. This fellow is connecting Ma Panchali, who had so many husbands, to Ma Kali. Mad fellow. I said, but it is there. It is there in Sahasranamavali. So can women attain the highest state of Guru Tattva? Yes, absolutely. And today we already have so many gurus. YouTube pe hai, who are revered by so many shishyas. Under no circumstances has anybody rejected them, or sometimes they might not want to go higher and they might not like popularity and they might step back. It is up to them. But I do not believe that under any circumstances women are discredited, especially in the tantric path, because Guru Shrestha itself is Kali. She is the body of Tantra itself. Right? But there is this huge misalignment where we have Satyuga, Dwapara, Treta and Dwapara, and the golden part of Kali Yuga, where it is male driven. And now comes this last part of Kali Yuga, which will be feminine driven, and it is going to be so heavy that aisa ho jayega. The speed is going to be like that, and it will equal out. So I will very boldly say this on record that this part of this Yuga, which is how you look at time itself, and the rise of Ma Kali, the name that it is rising. See, we had no great podcast explosion or anything of that sort, but you have all still landed here. Why? How? How did you find me? There are so many channels on this one. Why does the channel that speaks about Ma Kali rise all of a sudden? Because even the Yuga is Kali Yuga. K-A-L-I is the same spelling. She's already given the answer. So feminine gurus are definitely rising, and I have so many female shishyas that I say that go and talk. We have this Shishya podcast, right, where female shishyas conduct so many podcasts. Definitely 1 or 2 of them are going to go on stage very soon. Nobody can stop that rise. It is going to happen. But right now, my answer to this question is that if you look deeper within Mahabharata, you find that the actual guru, the actual Moola Adhara, the one who took the entire karma of Kurukshetra itself, is one feminine being called Ma Panchali. And I'll tell you what, if it was a man, there is no way that story could have panned out. He cannot handle that pain. Who can handle that pain? What did I tell you? The main character is always in pain. It was not at all Sri Krishna who was in pain. It was Ma Panchali's pain that gives you the entire Adhara of Kurukshetra. But women today do not want to see her as a damsel in distress. Then they say that acha ye main character nahi. That is the main character. Pain jo leta hai, going forward you will find that they only become the main character, and women will definitely rise. He who understands Ma Panchali understands that highest form of guru is Ma Panchali, and she will stand till the end of Kali Yuga. She was extremely beautiful, extremely strong, and she has on record criticized almost every part of. If you go deeper and read excellent translations of Mahabharata, you will realize that she is left, right and center criticizing the Pandavas. You can find that Guru Tattva peeking out here and there. Many people were not ready for it yet. But I'll tell you what, I will personally make sure that I will speak on these topics where she has beautifully criticized, where once she has mentioned that after Yudhishthira insults Ma Panchali, after the prince has had made an advancement towards her, she walks up to Bhim. After that, Bhim kills the prince, right? And you know what she tells Bhim? How she looks very displeased, and Bhim asks her, what happened? Why are you looking so displeased? What happened? Then she says, somebody whose husband is Yudhishthira, how can they be happy? This is there on record. Ek second mein insult kar diya. We will put one entire series on Ma Panchali. Not a normal character. She is Mahabharata. She is Kali herself. Let me use this question as an adhara to start that entire series itself, because the way she has spoken and criticized these main characters, no? Even Shri Krishna, she says, time to laga. I could have held the sari for a second. Khatam ho jata story. After that, who will worship who? Right? Ma Panchali is extremely powerful. But I don't want you to think of her as a damsel in distress, so she was powerful. No, she was a damsel in distress, pretending to be in distress so that the greater good could happen. I think there could never be a bigger guru than that. Right? We'll work on it, and we'll try to project Ma Panchali's. Especially there is one series of an author, I would definitely tell my shishyas to break it down, because that specific set of translation बहुत भैरव तत्व है. I'll speak about that. Right? So can women be gurus? What is your opinion? Can women be gurus? हो गया. We accept it. We are worshippers of the divine feminine. We accept her as the highest form of Devi itself. Then why we want to accept the gurus? In fact, let me tell you, taking it further, ये तो अब रील्स के लेवल से गया, it's become too long. Let me tell you, women have manifested in so many ways in my life, in the most extraordinary fashion, in the spaces where they never demanded the word guru for themselves. Throughout my career, throughout my family life, and they will always give the right solution and just move off. That is why I say every woman mein Devi hai, right? But you should have the Adhara to be able to see that, acha, at this moment it is her who has come, given and gone. Everywhere. I'll tell you, who wants to listen to a short story? Thoda irritating hoga. My personal life ka hai. Right? So I used to, my last stint, I was heading a unit which was inside a huge IT company in which there was close to 40,000, all companies together, 40,000 people there. Right? My unit was small. On Saturdays, since it's an IT company, they will shut down all the canteens and all because they all have holidays. But my unit used to work on Saturdays. तो lunch का तो कोई option ही नहीं था. There was only one canteen quite far off जहाँ पे देते थे. So whoever used to have office on Saturday, they used to walk all the way till there. Right? So there was the specific lunch that they used to give, and I used to stand in the queue and take that food. Right? दो टाइप का लंच था. एक में they used to give sweet, and the other one I didn't like that specific kind of lunch, so I never used to order that. उसमें sweet नहीं था. I used to order the one that didn't have sweet is what I liked, and the one with sweet, just for the sweet I didn't want to take it. So I used to take the good lunch and go in that queue. You would not believe, Saturday after Saturday, that lady who stands there, every time it will be different. One day it will be a young girl, other day it will be an older woman, other day it will be a very, very old woman, but they would always put sweet in my plate. So I would say that I used to be so excited for the alternate Saturday. Hare, now I am visualizing that it is Devi only, but is it my delusion or is she really there? So I used to check these people who used to buy the same lunch as me, and they will all be in the queue. Mere plate pe 4 consecutive Saturdays there will be sweet. Who was doing that? That lady probably did not even know at that moment what she was doing. So Bala, Taruni, Bala means young girl, Taruni, young woman, Vriddha, old woman, Vriddha Mata, oldest woman. These are there in the Kali Sahasranamavali. So she operates through women only. And for 4 consecutive alternate Saturdays, my lunch alone had that kesari. So you question her, she will give you answers. Right? She will give you accreditation. That is why I said that there is Devi in every woman. But you should have the ability to understand that Ma Panchali is the Guru Shrestha of Mahabharata itself. Might appear very far-fetched, but ये हुआ था. अब evidence पूछोगे तो CCTV तो नहीं ला सकता. You will have to take my word for this. But 4 consecutive alternate Saturdays are a big deal. Right? This is where I spoke about Bala, Taruni, Vriddha, Vriddha Mata. These are all forms of Devi walking around on the street. But if you are the sadhaka, for you alone, they will do something special to make you realize that हाँ Devi है अंदर. But if you are a simple Pashu, नहीं दिखेगा. Right? Jama.
So the next question is, Guruji, Vinayaka and his importance in the path of Adya Mahakali.
Right. So after this entire explosion of Bhairava Nama, a lot of people did take up Bhairava Sadhana. But in my own experience and what I've seen in my own inbox, emails and all of that, I realized that many are losing the ability to focus on that path. They get stopped in between sadhana, which is the deity's own doing. They might not be ready for Bhairava path yet because they do not understand the depth of karma that is required for a Bhairava sadhaka. The role of Vinayaka is that he is the Dwarapal itself, the corridor that leads to Devi. It is Vinayaka. Right? You might enter and you might keep looking at the Devi shrine itself, but you are not respecting the Dwara. He will simply remove the Dwara and keep it somewhere else. That is why he is Vigna Karta too, Vigna Harta and Vigna Karta. Importance of Vinayaka is very, very, very high. Many people who find that their sadhanas are stopping, sankalps are breaking, you should probably take up a sankalpa of Vinayaka. Spend a few anushtanas, few mandalas on Vinayaka, you will find that you will immediately be able to realign. So as the Bhairava Tattva rises within you, you will find that all other names of deities begin to dissipate. But till you get there, you need his help. And he is also a trickster. He will also wait and see, acha, you don't respect me, iska dwar uthao, or idhar rakho. And you can't see Devi at all. Right? So Vinayaka is very important. Before you start any sadhana, take his blessings. If you find that sadhana is breaking, kuch mat karo, basic naam jap. Basic naam jap of Vinayaka will get you that grace. Ask and plead for that help. You will find that after that your sankalps don't break anymore. It will power through. So this is a hint. In fact, I've been speaking about this a lot of late on my WhatsApp channel too. Many sadhanas of many Bhairava sadhakas is breaking because of that Bhairava Tattva is not fully Jagrit yet. That means you are still being protected by Vinayaka. That Dwara is still with him. Right? Whenever your sankalp is breaking, or even if no matter how advanced you are, you should start the sadhana with Vinayaka only. And you find that sankalp liya hai, lekin toot raha hai, such big problems come that you're not able to go on. Absolutely no harm in making Shama Pratana and beginning the sadhana of Vinayaka. Because udhar fix ho gaya, so your dwar will be rooted towards Devi. Jama.
Shall we pass the mic in the audience?
Ho gaya. We went through that really fast. So whoever wants to ask a few questions. There's somebody.
I just want to know about the Anvikshiki name. She has a name Anvikshiki. So I want to.
What is the number of this name?
I don't know.
So Ayega, if it has not yet been declared, Sahasranamavali, whatever is declared, we'll speak about it. Right? You can do your own explorations on the name.
Okay.
Is there any question regarding your sadhana that you have specifically?
Not yet.
No questions. Right.
Guruji.
Nice.
Sir,
Jama.
I don't have a formal guru. I just started Bhairava Naam Jap 2 years before, and I did very intense Naam Jap. I stopped counting later on, but I did couple of lakhs of japs, and I had very good experience. But for last few months, when I sit for meditation, mantra jap automatically stopped.
Acha.
And I started listening some inner sound.
Inner sound.
It's like of ganti. When we do puja, it's very small ganti. And within that ganti, because my mind is used to do that jap, so inner that ganti, because of my mind, I can realize that I can hear the mantra itself within the ganti. But then I started enjoying listening the sound only. The mantra stopped. And
Mantra in the sense it's a naam jap, right?
Yes, naam jap. So mantra automatically stopped, but I can sit for hours, just listening that hour, and I feel very blessed, and it was very peaceful state. So my question is it okay? So just listening and moving on, or should I force my mind to start mantra jap again?
Does this state disturb your life in any way?
No.
You're enjoying it, right?
It's very useful.
And you're excited to sit the next day?
Yes.
You want to keep doing this till the end of your life?
Yes.
Answer to hai. You already got it, right? So your specific experience need not validate or give answers from others, as long as it is making you come back and sit every day, right? It is clearance from the deity only.
I can feel I have been promoted in.
You've been promoted.
Yes. Instant.
Anything that gives you satisfaction that deity is interacting with us, do it. However, don't keep waiting for the next experience. So when you start doing that, that means that you are now asking for an experience from the deity, thereby reducing the higher states of consciousness that can come to you. Right? So you experience kijiye, but do not let go of mantra jap. Keep doing it. Take sankalp and keep doing it, but do not stop your sadhana, or do not think that ऐसा कुछ होता रहेगा तभी I am progressing, ऐसा भी नहीं है, because it will stop also. The deities will question, Viyog also will come. Deities also like to run away, right? So that you begin the sankalp again and bring them back. So don't dwell too much into experiences. Dwell deeper into your mantra jap, so that this will keep continuing. Don't quit mantra jap ever, right? So take it. It could
Sir,
be a
but
test.
The count is reduced. Mantra jap is with my breath only.
Keep going.
And
Experiences you do not
as
describe
far
to others. You do not make sense of it through somebody else. You should experience it and continue your job.
And
So what you're doing is fine. You can go on.
After few weeks, I remember, then I suddenly got an inspiration that I should do one stotra of Ganesha. That stotra I used to do maybe 5-10 years ago. Then started that and having more good experiences. But I have a guilt that I will मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि मैं भैरव को भूल ना जाऊँ. कभी कभी ऐसा फील आता है.
छोड़ना.
क्योंकि गणेश में इतना चिपक जाता हूँ
नहीं
ना.
तो Ganesha is making an appearance. It is very, very normal. That is how it is. Dwaras will get shifted by him.
So even though I am doing
That you didn't mention first.
So गणेश का जब मैं ध्यान में बैठता हूँ तो अभी फोकस किया, बट मुझे बीच में भैरवा को छोड़ना नहीं है, ऐसा माइंड में आ जाता है. और फिर वो टाइम पे मैं इवन दो
जो आए हैं ना अभी,
हाँ,
अगर वो मन नहीं रखेंगे तो सब कुछ स्टॉप हो जाएगा. सो अब यू पुट फुल एफर्ट इनटू हिम, मेक नैवेद्य फॉर हिम, टेक हिम एंड सीट हिम, एकदम भागो इनके पीछे, राइट? बिकॉज इफ ही डिसाइड्स नो, यू विल नॉट ओनली रीच देव यू, ही विल पुट यू इनसाइड द द्वार, inside that Garbhagriha itself. That ability he has, right? So you were doing Ganesha Upasana, what was the reason to stop it?
yes.
वहीं पे प्रॉब्लम है.
स्टॉप नहीं है, चालू है अभी.
अच्छा नहीं, बिफोर व्हाई डिड यू स्टॉप? बटुक भैरव नाम जब यू स्टार्टेड, राइट?
नहीं, मैं भैरव नाम ओम भैरवाय नमः.
एट दैट टाइम यू आर डूइंग गणेश ऑल्सो.
पहले 2 साल तो खाली भैरव ही चला.
हाँ वही तो बोल रहा हूँ.
फिर एक टाइम आया 1-2 वीक के खाली
आपका आंसर ऑलरेडी मैंने दिया है,
यस.
राइट? वही है ये. दिस इज अ लाइव एग्जाम्पल. Bhairav on one side, if Vinayaka is not being rightly propitiated, he has the ability to stop it completely. जिसका भी नाम हो, right? Shiva only has to come and वो माँ पार्वती के सामने खड़े हो जाएंगे तो he will not move, right? वो right है उनका to stand there, and you should be happy that this happened to you. I would say that you increase your Ganesha Upasana and take it to the very heights. एब्सोल्यूट हाइट्स. इतना करो कि वो एकदम अंदर पुश कर दे और साथ आ जाएंगे. दिस इज अ ब्लेसिंग. गणेश उपासना इफ यू आर डूइंग एंड भैरव नाम जब किया है एंड इज कमिंग बैक टू यू, जाओ, डोंट लुक एट एनीथिंग, भागो उनके पीछे. अरे ये मिल गए तो क्या चाहिए और. गणेशा यू गॉट एंड व्हाट यू वांट, सब कुछ मिल गया, राइट? And so many people, this is the flavor of the season itself. I have been talking about it repeatedly. He is coming after me also saying सबको बोलो. ट्रेंड हो गया. अब मेरा क्या होगा, सबका रोक दूँ? नहीं. So I put voice, repeatedly putting voice messages in my groups that करो, the moment you feel that some hurdle is coming, stop हो रहा है कुछ and you're going into another state, Vinayaka. And let me tell you, his Vigna Karta is also brilliant. It is him only fully. You should understand that when he puts Vigna or removes Vigna, it is him in 100% energy. वही है, right? So the stopping of your mantra leading to images of Vinayaka is your best blessing. ले लो एकदम. and वो मंत्र जब आप करते थे ना, उसको करो. भैरव नाम जब भी करो, 1 माला you do, but rest you do his.
Yes, मैं after completing my meditation,
Starting with Vinayaka only, right?
हाँ, दिन का शुरुआत अभी विनायक से होता है, बट खत्म भैरवा से होता है.
हाँ, that's okay. खत्म भी विनायका से हो जाता है. He has that.
हो जाएगा.
हाँ, बैठ जाइए उनके साथ.
थैंक यू सर.
हाँ, सब कुछ मिल जाएगा.
Jai Mahadeva, Jai Bhairav Baba. So before 3 years I was completely agnostic, and how I came into Bhairav Sadhana was suddenly my career and my identity was crumbling, and I could sense energies and I could basically see deceased people at that time, and that was what I believed in. But suddenly there was a recurring dream when I was in UK doing my PhD and my career was crumbling, and the mantra which came was Bhairav's Tantric mantra. It was a recurring dream, so I didn't know about that mantra at that time. I asked my mom. My mom is a Krishna Bhakt, and she also didn't know. But maybe because I talked on the phone, the YouTube got it, and after a point, that mantra revealed itself to be Bhairav's Tantric mantra. And so when I came back, I started basic Nama Japa, and I always had this question that I have considered Bhairava as my Mansik Guru and my dog as my physical Guru. So should I be doing right now Nama Japa, or should I take that mantra which came into my dreams as my Guru mantra and start doing? Because it's a big Tantric mantra with 7-8 Bij mantras in it, and I've heard that that mantra shouldn't be done without any supervision. But it did come in my dream, and that's how I came into Bhairav sadhana. And before that I was completely agnostic, atheist maybe.
Right.
So yeah.
Done? So if you say that Bhairava is your Manasik Guru, right, there only the topic ends. Right? Now it is between you and Bhairava. You should not ask anybody's opinion now, and you should truly believe in it and walk that path. Right? So Bhairava, what is Bhairava? The energy of Bhairava is my Guru, and he has given me my mantra, and you want to take it up, then it becomes a Gupta Guhya secret between you and him. Whatever you do is between you and him. Right? If you truly believe that he is your deity and he is also your Guru, then he'll take care of you. But when doubts come that you want an accreditation from another mouth, somebody else must answer it, then you should also understand that what has been put into me only will come out. Right? So I do not know what is that mantra. What will I tell you? Go through the known path. What is one answer I can give you is that do the Nama Jap. Build a certain level of strata where you feel like, I'm not afraid of anything. Right? That Bhairava mindset begins to wake up. Uske baad you will not fear anything. This doubt that you have, no, that also will not exist. You will simply start making this your Guru mantra and you will start doing it. But since you asked this question, my recommendation is that whichever is the form of Bhairava that you worship, unka ekdam 10 lakh, an extraordinary number like that, do it and build the base and let the sankalp be only to attain Bhairava as the Guru. Bhairava means the cosmic form of Bhairava is what you talk about. The one you are talking about is not a human being. It's not come in a human form. So to attain that, do the Nama Jap, extraordinary numbers, make it 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 25 lakh, an extraordinary sankalp, it might take a year, 2, 3. After that, you do this mantra, you will not have this doubt at all after that. Right? That is the right way. General advice is that any mantra that you get in your dream and all of that, if you ask a physical guru, they'll always say, don't do it. Right? That is the answer, always. Because the fact that you asked means there is a break in the pranic flow between what was delivered to your mind. So we don't know who delivered it, right? But if you believe it is Bhairava, then do the Nam Jap, take his grace and start it. But what happens and doesn't happen also remains secret between you both, right? Jama.
Jema. I've been a believer of Raj Rajeshwari Devi for a very long time.
Raj Rajeshwari.
And every time, like since few years, and I've been like, even in smallest things, if I have a hurdle, I will take her name or lit 5 agarbatis, and I can see that she listens. Lately, I came across your videos, and I've been having a very natural instinct to connect and chant Mahakali Mata's name also. My question to you would be that should I still continue taking name of Raj Rajeshwari Devi or Mahakali or both in the house? And I don't sit on the asana and take names. I just pray and I lit diyas. So I want to know, how do I go about it?
I think the fact that you asked me this question and not to somebody else who would probably be from that specific path of that specific form, it itself is an answer. Have you gone and asked this question to somebody whose main form is that Devi?
No.
No, right?
I don't even know.
Right. So the answer is there. The answer is there. Number one. Number two, if you specifically want to worship Ma Bhuneshwari, Ma Rajarajeshwari, Ma Tripura Sundari, and you have that urge, you should worship them. Under no circumstances is that a disqualification or something that you are doing disservice to your sadhana or to the Mahakali path, nothing of that sort. Till that urge is there, you must worship every deity, but ultimately what will stand is your true Ishta, where you find the true resonance that alone will last. So it could be Ma Rajarajeshwari too, and you will find that Ma Kali's name begins to slip off. Or you will find that Ma Kali's name begins to go higher and Ma Rajarajeshwari's name begins to slip off. That is for you to judge alone by yourself in your asana, but it is going to happen. Extraordinarily it will happen. You will find that only one name stands. Right? And then you go mad for that name.
And is it okay to chant Ma Kali's name also inside
Absolutely.
the house? Just
Absolutely.
Naam
There
jap?
are so many who do sadhana of Ma Kali, they also recite Hanuman Chalisa. Nothing wrong in that. They also recite the basic Panchakshari mantra of Mahadeva and don't recite Bhairava Nama. So a state will come where they will get inclined towards Bhairava. Until it doesn't happen by itself, you don't have to force it. It should happen naturally. And Ma Rajareshwari, if she's still talking to you, why will you not allow her to speak to you? You should enjoy that. Right? When she decides that this is your time and you go to this path, then it will be a more free and absolute beautiful way that Kali path opens to you. Till then, whatever gives you peace, right? She accepts whatever ritual that you do by yourself in your house, she accepts it completely. You don't have to check whether it is fitting or whether it is in the framework. So anytime people text me and say that they worship many forms, like sometimes it's 8 forms hoga, right? Then that is when I say that too many forms, I cannot get into this. But another Devi form still speaking to you, that is all absolutely fine. But a day will come. If Kali name rises, she takes all the energy, the ability to say another name, ability to go to the kshetra, everything she'll just pull into you. That is her nature. If that happens, then you know, you will never even ask this question, wo ho gaya? You will simply close your eyes and surrender. Until that doesn't happen by itself, whatever gives you peace, don't have the mindset that I stopped that name, now I feel bad. No, till that also doesn't go on the smashan, continue.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing wrong. Don't think it's a disqualification or something you lost. That feeling has to attain smashan. Then the true Ishta begins to completely take. Right now you are between both the forms and both are Kali only actually. So nothing to worry. Enjoy the path. Okay. Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
Well, I specifically don't choose people. I know because I don't know who we are skipping over and all, right? So I don't choose people. Mike Kshetrapal only will do it.
Namaskar.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma. I have been doing Shiv Upasana since childhood.
You have been?
Doing Shiv Upasana since childhood because I belong from Nath Sampradaya. Mahakali is the primary goddess worshipped there. I have feeling that since last 5 years, I have this gradual inclination towards Shri Radha. Like one is completely Vairagi, one is completely the Shringar and all. So I am not able to see that whether I am deviating from the Shiva Upasana and what is the signal. There is just a matra difference between Banaras and Barsana. This is this constant confusion in my head. I pray both of them right now. But I don't know where can I attain this Param Tattva. Is Ekagrata attained in such case, or is it wrong to have this Anyashray, like taking Ashray of some other deity in presence of one? Please.
So there are 1008 visualized name of Ma Kali, right? And beyond that, there are names that many of us cannot even imagine because she has also put many names like Kakara Varna Sarvangi. So that goes even deeper. Whatever begins with the name Ka is also me, right? She takes control of whatever she likes. Like she is the creator. She takes Shiva Shakti and begins to create. So who is asking questions? Aisa hai kya new rule aa gaya? Bolke she'll finish that topic off. So Radharani is one of the names of Kali. The entire Sahasranamahavali carries the entire Krishna name itself. So if Krishna itself, we say 36th name is Krishna, 37th is Krishna Deha, Radha is also there, Ma Yashoda is also there, right? So which form is interacting with you at which specific Kala Chakra of your own Atma, you don't have to feel guilty. ये तो कभी मत करना. Understand, एक हाथ रख लो माँ पे and enjoy the other name. Same thing I would tell you, right? Don't feel guilty that मुझे अब माँ राधा रानी पे इतना I feel love towards her. तो enjoy करो ना. She wants you to be that state. Also fall in love with Krishna also. You think that her own son, she will reject you for that. That is also Kali, right? Kali is a yoga shakti of Shiva itself. Shiva Duti, whatever message she gives you about the state of Shiva, don't get into this Shaiva, Vaishnava, Shakta. She is Para Sanatani. If you go through her Kali Sahasranamavali, she is the entire thing. right? She's not Shiva, she's not Shakta, she's not Vaishnava and all. She's Parasanatani. So, doubt ही नहीं रखना, एकदम jump. But one hand, ultimate truth को भी रख लो and play around and enjoy her other leelas. And ये guilt मत रखो. It's all there in her name. Rajarajeshwari is there in her name. So it is also her, but there is a specific state in your life right now where that specific energy has to make a lot of sense to you. इसीलिए वो हो रहा है, लेकिन नाम में तो है already. So it is Kali only. You don't have to feel bad. मुझे ये क्या हो रहा है? Am I going out of path? कहाँ पे? Out of path is also her path, right? Yeah. That is the whole point. गिर भी रहे हो, मैं गिर गया. नीचे क्या है? काली. लेकिन कहाँ पे गिरे? गिरने का एक्ट भी उनका ही है, धरती भी उनका ही है, राइट? तो राधा रानी, माँ, राजराजेश्वरी and all are her names. Maybe in your bloodline there is a little bit of grandiosity, glory, laughter, dance left. मेरे में तो नहीं है. Dance, bling, light सब नहीं है. Maybe in your bloodline there is. So she wants you to celebrate and dance. Do it.
Okay.
There is no disqualification. काली पात गिरोगे तो भी तो वही है.
Thank you, Jai Ma.
I think we have come to the last two questions and then you all are released.
Sir, one small question. I regularly do mantra japa Bhutak Bhairava. For the past 3 years I am doing that. But I also regularly recite the Kala Bhairava Ashtakam. And I installed the photograph of Kala Bhairava Ashtakam, Kala Bhairava, in outside my house, in front of the gate, not inside.
You did the Pran Pratishtha of Kala Bhairava outside your gate?
No. It is photograph only, no Pran Pratishtha. Photograph only of Kala Bhairava outside my house door. So is it okay to chant the names of Bhutak Bhairava inside the house, but reciting the Kala Bhairava Ashtakam also?
Okay.
At the same time.
So we have to understand the adhara of why this happened. Is it because you feel that Kala Bhairava Upasana inside the house can be risky, dangerous, something like that?
Yes.
But that is a deity you want to become. You're trying to become, but you're saying that one aspect of the deity has to be outside my four walls. Right? Then can you become it? If I say, what is your name? Okay, I'm not asking your name. Let's say your name is Ashok. Right? And Ashok gets up at 7 a.m. in the morning. But Ashok cannot get up at 7 a.m. in the morning. So what should Ashok do? Right? Ashok has to either wake up at 7, then he's Ashok. But he cannot wake up at 7 also, you will stop him. Then what will Ashok do? So if you want to be Bhairava, you cannot fear Bhairava itself. Right? I want to be an engineer, but I'm afraid to go to the semester exam, but I want to be engineer. It is that kind of a situation. You cannot fear your Ishta. I believe I understand from where these talks are coming, where I've heard people saying that Bhairava sadhana, specific forms of Bhairava sadhana cannot be done at home, right? That is wrong. The highest forms of sadhana, including Kapal sadhana, can be done in a home, but no, I'm not telling everybody to do this. I'm just telling you that it can be done. The deity will protect your four walls to that extent. The sadhaka is the most important cog in the entire cosmos. The deities will always keep him safe. So this Kal Bhairav, until you do not feel the confidence, you cannot place him. Right? Because I say you cannot place. Inner realization is everything. You fear Kal Bhairav and his energies inside your house, then you cannot place him. But the day you realize that jo bhukamp aayega, that is all him only, right? When you stood up and you walked, many micro germs and all are dying under your foot. But you still have to walk. The aftermath will come, right? Seasons aana hai to cyclone also will come, otherwise you will not get water. It is like that, right? You cannot reject Kal Bhairav and do Bhairav sadhana. Because unka jo end purpose hai, jahan pe wo baith jate hain Kashi, right? That state is Kal Bhairav. You cannot reject that and only worship Bhairava. Then the Bhairava state of consciousness itself, you are actually rejecting that final state, right? Kala Bhairava Swarupini, Kala Bhairava Kamini, Kala Bhairava Yogastha, Kala Bhairava Bhogada. It's all Kali. So ultimately till Kali you have to go. So if you have decided that he is a Ishta, what I would suggest is don't place him outside the door because you fear the energies within the house. Instead you can do the Sthapana of Kshetrapala Bhairava outside your house and feed some dogs outside. Right? For him to specifically protect the external perimeters of your house, because you want protection outside your house, not because the energies are dangerous inside your house. यहाँ problem हो सकता है. Right? Because that energy is what you want. That is the whole purpose of Bhairav Sadhana. So you yourself are extending your lives. A realization of Kal Bhairav is also mine. I want him. That till it doesn't come, the Batuk Bhairav Sadhana, wo kaun nahi. Batuk Bhairav is the actual Ugra form. The one that bursts out, no, the child form. The one who decapitates Brahma is Batuka. Young, uncontrollable, unbridled energy, full of prana is Batuka. Kal Bhairav is actually seated, extremely calm. Right? Moksha, he is the Dwar. He is looking and judging everybody. Whoever is the right he will send them inside. That is his purpose. So Batuka is already the same energy, but it is even more Ugra. Because he is bursting out. That energy itself is movement. So please understand the deity that we worship. Hamare deity, also I have heard this in Narasimha Path, where generally they do not place his most Ugra forms inside the house. I've heard of this and all that. Then how do you go closer to the deity? Even when Narasimha is seething with rage and Hiranyakashipu has been killed, what does Prahlada do? It is he who walks up to him and says his name, and immediately he melts. Prahlad bano. You cannot fear him and then call him too. Right? You fear your own deity and you call him, then we actually end up cutting off our own sadhana. Till one, and so sadhana of a deity means right from the beginning state till the end state of the same form, I want it. Right now. That is how you hold. So outside your house, Kshetrapala Bhairava, Kala Bhairava sadhana, you don't have to do Kapal sadhana, you don't have to do Chitta Bhasma and all. But जो भी कर सकते हो आप, पूरी तरह अंदर करो. घर के बाहर keeping Kal Bhairav but worshipping Batuk Bhairav, it is a misalignment of energy. And he will do nothing to you that is going to destroy your identity or identified life का कोई destruction नहीं होगा. Because Batuka is already that. Jai Ma. Last question, or how is it? Because we are at 1:30 now. And many of them are, out of respect, they are not getting up. But they want to leave. Jai Ma.
Jai Ma. I already got my answers through others. I just want to... I want to have Guru that can guide me and give me Bij Mantra.
That's all?
Yes. I already got my answers through others.
Acha. So the Guru who can give you Bij Mantra you can find everywhere. That is an actual honest answer.
Who can actually guide me through this path to show me the journey, what to...
See, I just put a video, I think 3 days back, with my own Guru, saying when does the Guru appear? When it is time for him to, or somebody to guide you in a little bit of, change your course a little bit, only then the Guru comes. Until then there is no need for Guru, you keep doing the Nam Jap, right? And Bija, there is 18 prescribed methods of Diksha. There are ways of Diksha by mere sight. There are ways of Diksha by mere passage of article, one thing the Guru gives you, one mantra, one piece of cloth. There are many ways. So do not think that Diksha is that highest state of realization. No, that is the whole point of Bhairava. Right? Batuk Bhairava sadhana, even without a Guru you will progress. Murugar, Skand, Kartikeya sadhana, you will progress even without a Guru. These are all Guru Tattva itself. Right? But when there is a time, when you feel that Bij nahi hai, to I feel not there yet, that is when the Guru appears. Wo emptiness, no, that emptiness has to come. That is when you find the Guru. Until then, Manasik Guru, the Drone was the Guru of Arjuna, but who do we all understand as the Guru of Arjuna? Manasik hi tha. Nobody on Kurukshetra could see the Vishwarupa of Sri Krishna. Only Arjun could see, and he was Manasik Guru, not the initiated Guru. Right?
But I already feel empty and I feel stuck between two worlds. I can't enjoy being human, normal human, and I want to find the purpose of my life too. So,
Aayega. It will come very soon. Enjoy whatever you have today. Right? Because when you understand the true purpose, if that cosmic dumping happens on your Sahasrara, it will become too difficult for you to perform your daily life and its duties. Right? The day that happens, most of us attain it only on the smashan. when we lie down on the pyre, only then we are truly ready for it, because you cannot panic at that moment. It's over, right? Utke, you cannot run away. That moment only you are shown the true realization of how terribly scary the cosmos is. Right? The moment if such a jnana begins to dump onto our head, the sahasrara opens, phat ho gaya, and entire thing is dumping. Next moment you will not want to associate with anything to do with your present life. Right? So like on the patient's bed, the drips goes little by little. Right? That is a right way to take in the cosmic jnana. Because even drips, if they make it too far, doctor, if they make it too fast, it will affect, right? You know? I am illiterate. So little by little andar jana is safer than just opening. You will not find the need to eat. Why should I live in this house? Why is this person my father, husband? Why is this person my child? Nothing will make sense if you suddenly realize what you are going to be after 2000 years. Right? So drip system is the best. Irrigation ke liye bhi or spirituality ke liye bhi.
Thank you. Thank you.
So trust your speed. It is good enough. I think we should end it, no? It is going to be a continuous affair. You can keep texting me, you can comment, don't worry. It's not the end. But I think we'll allow last question. Right? I hope it is not going to be the most difficult question which Ma allowed me to stop, but I took the adventure of allowing that question.
Thank you. Jai Ma.
Oh, you're reading and saying this is going to be a big one.
Actually, I am a sadhak myself, and I am doing Baglamukhi sadhana as well as Batuk Bhairav sadhana. It is going well, but like every other human being, I also want to attain moksha. But there was this something I read or heard somewhere that it is stated that hell and heaven is nothing but the projection of your own conscious only. How you see your life and karmas unfold is actually how you perceive or envision the hell or heaven for yourself. Is it true? Must one fear his karma or truly feel liberated when he has done the karma?
Done. You are a Ma Bhaglamukhi sadhaka only because for a second you did sthamban on me. Right? Let me get my tongue back. Ma and her games. Bhaglamukhi sadhaka, to immediately you understand by the energy of way they speak. Right? Question aisa aa raha hai kya? So you become sthamban ho gaya. See, don't wait for that grand exit. Right? Whatever it is that you are meant to attain, heaven or hell, it is happening right now, right here. Right? Only when you attain equilibrium or shunyata, the state of, on the pyre, when we lie down, it is shunya, nothing more, nothing less, done. Right? At that state, when you experience different kala chakras of life, when you absolutely experienced motherhood, when you absolutely experience what it means to be a brother, absolute experience of what it means to run a team, jo shunyata hota hai na, that moment you get heaven or hell out of it. Both can happen. So experience of day-to-day life itself has heaven and hell deeply rooted within. And I don't want to say that after death, bahut extraordinary jagah pe jaoge. I don't want to say that. Then am I not insulting my mother's creation? And I don't want to come back repeating this, right? So I'm telling you right now, whatever it is that you call heaven or hell depends on how you attain shunyata with every given experience. Everything. Motherhood se leke, sisterhood se leke, running a company, running after pets, whatever it is, doing a sadhana, when you attain shunyata with it, when a human being lies down on the funeral pyre, dead, he could either go higher or lower. Higher realm, higher bloodline, lower realm, worse bloodline, as per their karma. Your ability to attain that while living. So, do you experience heaven or hell in every little bit of experience that you have? That depends on you completely. Attaining the state of God as you walk around means you are in heaven, but even in heaven there is issues. Right? So, don't think that the moment there is an issue, I am not in heaven, ye hell ho gaya. Then it becomes hell. Right? So moksha is not an extraordinary exit. Moksha is that state of being in Kashi while walking around in Ahmedabad. Kashi is not a pin code. Kashi is when whatever is administered by Kala Bhairava becomes Kashi. So if he is administering you, then what are you? You're Kashi. So what is moksha? Where do you get moksha? What is the blanket answer for every Hindu? Where should you die? Kashi. So we have hypothesis set. Where do you die? Kashi. कहाँ पे मोक्षा मिलता है? Kashi. Who administers Kashi? Kal Bhairav. So if you allow him to administer you, what are you? हाँ, हो गया. So what is moksha? When you are able to be liberated by the urge to call it heaven or hell and to just simply sit in that state, then you are in Kashi. He can open Kashi anywhere for you. You will be in Hong Kong and it will be Kashi. You will be somewhere in the most disgusting, smelly place, stuck there because you are there on duty. It will also become Kashi. Right? But many of us are not there yet. Become Bhairav of the self. Then you will administer and you will be in Kashi. Moksha is not one extraordinary exit. This is something you need to understand. All of us need to understand. Me too. That higher birth hai. Iske baad aayega. Now I'll screw everything. Next is going to be brilliant. Most of our old people itself, aged people, because they were stuck in a specific Kala Chakra, they were in the golden part of Kali Yuga, born in golden part of Kali Yuga. If you ask them what is moksha, after death, though, I will not come here. This terrible sun, this terrible Sabi, the entire bloodline only they'll curse and say that I am going higher because I am doing these Parayanas and these Srotas I am reciting, I will go higher. You must be here. वो नहीं है. Who can give mukti to their bloodline is in Kashi. The secret is there. The body that you are birthed into, उसके अंदर जितना भी है, generations worth of trauma, when you become the dam that stops it from flowing to the next generation, उसको mukti दे दिया. That is Kashi. What else? हो गया. Right? So our least promoted satsang, right? We wanted to keep it a little silent because of all the issues we're facing, people trying to pull us down. हम तो famous भी नहीं है. Still we do all these satsangs. Some people wanted to close it and end it. So we became a little silent, going under the stream, underground drainage system की तरह. We were promoting the satsang. You all have come here also. So thank you for that, and I would like to specifically thank my volunteers who have put in so much of effort. Who have put in so much of effort in planning this. And Gujarat, especially Ahmedabad, our volunteers are very less, no? We have hardly 10 or 12, 13 I think. Dangerous number. 13. 13 volunteers is all we had. People have come from Surat, Vadodara to make this happen. So thanks to all of you. And thanks for watching these videos. I thought they were very boring, but you have all tuned in. Right? So I'll take leave. Hoping that the mother allows me to come back to this city. And all the volunteers, I don't know, they're all very young. I don't know where they will be in the next few years and whether they'll be available. But if this is the last satsang in Ahmedabad, that is fine. We'll meet each other in the asan. Right? Jai Ma.